Alrighty, hello everyone, my name's Kate and welcome back to more Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. What potentially might be the end of the first game in the trilogy. Potentially, we'll see. I'm gonna try and get through it, who knows if that'll happen. But, last time we got to finally go through the court case that caused Phoenix to lose his badge, and this time we are going to be doing something with the Mason system, whatever this is. Let's do it. That trial 7 years ago was the beginning of it all. This I know beyond a doubt. Mysteries of the past work their magic on the present. But you'll soon be finding all of this out for yourself. Which of the Magnifique Gramarye's disciples pulled that trigger? Where did the vanishing defendant Zach Gramarye go? What dark truth lurks behind the forged diary page? And what about the girl who was left behind? Mason system. This is the thing we saw at the beginning. Yeah, this thing. Whoa, what the? The past left us these 4 keys to unlocking the truth. Oh. But that's not all. There are 4 keys in the present as well. And when all the questions have found their answers, the final trial will begin. But first, you must chase the truth through then and now. Think of it as a game. I, Phoenix Wright, will be your guide through this game. That terrible trial saw me present forged evidence. It ended, had finished, when the defendant vanished. What became of me after that? As your investigation proceeds, the answer will become clear. Oh, and one more thing. There is something I must tell you. As Apollo Justice has his bracelet, so too do I have my own weapon of sorts. My Magatama. What does it do, you ask? That I would have you see for yourself. Well now, shall we begin? Use Q&E to jump between the past and the present. But let's begin 7 years ago, in the past. It is right after my last trial came to an abrupt end. Now that you know the game, let's play. Alright. Let's go to the detention center, I guess. The nightmare trial was over, and the new nightmare figuring out what had happened had just begun. I wanted to wake up, to walk away. But I figured I'm the only one who could do this, probably. And besides, I have plenty of time, thanks to the Bar Association Review Board's decision. It's hard to work when your attorney's badge has been taken away. 7 years ago, detention center, visitor's room. What a strange sight doth mine eyes behold. Excuse me? 2 men on either side of a single transparent pane, yet it seems fickle fate has switched sides, so to speak. The forger of fakes walks freely, while the innocent languishes within these plexiglass confines. There's been no proof that I forged anything, nor proof that I took the life of my dear mentor. Yet, these chains cannot hold me for long. The stage awaits. What, may I ask, awaits you? A little piano and a cold little hole in the wall. But since you are here, what shall we discuss? The shooting of Magnifique Gramarye, for one. Who pulled that trigger? Blunt or his partner Zach? His partner vanished before the answer could be found. If I'm going to get any closer to the truth, this is the place to start. End inquiry? That's a new one. Okay, interesting. Gotcha. So so I assume what that is telling me is that basically there's only going to be like 8 places probably that I actually can switch to. Oh, 4 in the past, 4 in the present. All right, well, let's go with this one. No, my badge is gone. Mr. Vaughn, could you look at this for me, please? Yes, I accept your challenge. Well? Challenge? Huh? You want me to make it float, disappear, or shall I simply eat it? I didn't come here to play games with Mr. Volant, or to watch you do the tricks. Case pre-device, but in the opinion of it, extremely good. I mean, I've honestly liked all the cases in some way in this game so far, honestly. But again, I'm pretty easy to please in some regards, so maybe that's that. Do you have any response to any of the items? Or do you just want to eat? Or do you just want to ask if you can eat every piece of evidence, Mr. Volant? Come on. Magnify's charts. Prison makes you hungry. Yummy paper. Doesn't seem like I'm gonna be getting anything out of this. Still never hurts to check. And finally the diary? Nope. Well, Vale. Always enjoy checking. Actually, considering this is Phoenix doing this, what does he have to say about the guard and the camera? That guard keeps stealing glances in this direction. And scratching his head. Maybe our resident magician showed him a trick or two. Smile, you're on candid camera. I feel like he said that in the last games, too. I just had to say it. Old Avastar. Okay, I think he did say it. Maybe I should do a few tricks for the viewers at home. Alright. Zach. Volant. I have to hand it to my partner. He knows how to make an exit. That's talent. Yes, he made my attorney's badge disappear, and he never even touched it. Ilori's spotlight always leaves someone weeping in the shadows. Yet his very disappearance is itself a revelation. Revealing what? Zach Gramry killed Magnify. So for Just for All, I mispresenting profiles to people. That is something that I do think is interesting that they removed. I don't know. Maybe it just got things too convoluted for people, or something like that. I don't know. I just think it's interesting that they did remove that. Zach Gramry killed Magnify. It's as good as a signed confession. That's certainly been the public opinion and take on it. I grow tired of my cage, and the time of my release is near. I must go and prepare. Planning on jumping back into the magic right away. As long as an audience waits with a bated breath, there will be a Volant. And also... Yes? Now that my partner has disappeared, Magnify's repertoire is mine. Volant Gramry has a tradition to uphold. Is that true? Seeing this light, the trial was quite good to me, verdict or no. And you can't pay for that kind of publicity. What about blackmail? The suspicion on you hasn't lifted entirely, Volant. After all, you received one of those letters too. You were just as obligated to follow Magnify's instructions as your partner. So I was. But only Zach Gramry followed them. Let us not speak any more of who shot what. Now that my partner has vanished, the question is moot. I'm more interested in learning something else, actually. What might that be? I want to know what Magnify had up his sleeve. How could he coerce you and your partner to kill him? The trick up his sleeve? Perhaps you do not know. No what? A great magician never reveals his secrets. I had a feeling. Cyclops. I didn't think it would be that easy. The audience must remain forever in the audience, bathing in the reflected glow of the spotlight. My Magatama, one of my most prized possessions, which I got during a certain case, can show me the locks on people's hearts. And if I can unlock their hearts, they'll tell me their secrets. The Magatama starts it all, and the Magatama ends it all. Alright. Oh, wait, hang on. I don't think you...
Huh. Interesting. I'm pretty sure that in the Phoenix Wright trilogy, to present the Magatama, you actually had to, like, show it as evidence, I thought. Huh. But now it's just, like, an option here. At the very least, I'm pretty sure it was evidence that you could check similar to, like, the court badge. I think. I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Anyways, I don't know if I can actually unlock this. Oh, wait, I just... Whoops. Whoopsie. I didn't mean to push this. It's gonna... And locks. For some reason, I thought clicking the dialogue option would actually let me do it, but let's go. Alright, Baby Philaunt. Let's see if we can't crack open your heart. The trick up his sleeve. I'm flying by the seat of my pants in this one. There must be a path leading from the evidence to the truth. And that's what I'm going to find. If I ask someone to take a life, even one not long for this world... wait. I can't save. That's asking someone to commit murder. Yes, our mentor was fond of dramatic moves. And dramatic finales. When he got his wish, his life was taken. What weakness could be so powerful as to coerce someone into committing murder? I guess it was a matter of life or death. Gotta explain? Your troop lived in a world of showmanship. The flashier the better. And flashy so often means danger, doesn't it? Let us make this as painless as possible. If you have proof of this danger, then show it. I may not have enough evidence right now to pull this off. Maybe it's time to do a little more legwork. So I gotta go to a different point in time. Alright, let's go to a different point in time then. The defendant lobby number 2. 7 years ago. District Court, defendant lobby number 2. Didn't think I'd be back here for a while. I didn't want to have to remember that day.
Do I deeply regret having to declare a verdict this way? Oh, wait a minute, hold on, I'm getting a text. Alright, I answered. What do you mean I can't text? I'm the judge, I make the rules. Anyways, though I deeply regret having to declare a verdict in this way, this trial is over. Oh, Your Honor? Yes, Mr. Zack? There's one thing I wish to make clear. Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. What are you talking about? I'm talking about this.
Bye!
He just runs out the door.
Mr. Nigmar!
The visit's escaped! Find him, quick!
Mayor, close all exits from the building. On the double, he must not be allowed to escape.
When I came here on that fateful morning, I still had my badge. But now, like an amputated limb, I can still feel it itching. Where do I start? I don't even have the authority to investigate. Hey, you there, sir!
Oh gosh, it's you!
Down your hands, floor on your head, and now.
What's the big idea? My ears!
No unauthorized personnel are allowed in here.
But that would mean all unauthorized personnel are allowed.
Ah. I just say it like it is, sir. And it's usually wrong. Thrown out of the precinct, lost my friends, my girl, and even my wallet.
We've met before, haven't we? On a case 2 years ago?
No recollection of that, sir.
Huh?
For me, working on a case is always in the present progressive tense, sir. There is no past, there is only now, sir.
Okay. You're the bailiff, right?
Yes, sir. Court bailiff Mike Meekins at your service, sir.
You're the bailiff? Huh. Interesting. I've asked to meet with the bailiff at this court who let the magician escape.
Let me try to make this as absolutely clear as possible for you, sir. It was me, sir.
But you were a regular police officer once, right?
Sometimes bad things happen to good people, sir.
Something tells me it's a long story. Let's not go there. So, you were in charge of security at the time of the vanishing?
Dying over here! Oh, it's a hard knock life, sir! Thrown out of the precinct, lost my friends, my girl, and even my wallet.
Guess I wasn't the only victim. I don't think I've ever been able to examine this room. Interesting. You know, I think this was the lobby I used for my very first case. This plant has seen me grown from a rookie to an ace to a has-been. I hate you, plant. Just kidding. I must have seen that painting 1,000 times, but I never really looked at it until now. I guess my head was too stuck into trials. I never had time to stop and appreciate art. I have time now. Okay, let's appreciate. Actually, it's pretty lame. Couch. I actually took a nap on that couch once when I was still practicing law. Yeah, it led to the problem of the second game where the first trial we had amnesia. Boy, was that a mistake. I never even sit on the lobby sofas now. Never let my clients sit on them either. It's bad luck. I guess this door was officially a prop in Zach Gramry's last show. He passed through that lobby door and vanished. But to where? He choreographed that entire fateful trial according to his grand scenario. I hate magicians. Hey you. Any thoughts on this, Mr. Meekins?
This is an honor. Sir, I've offered my opinions on plenty of things, even things I knew nothing about. But no one's ever asked me for my opinion before!
Ow, there's no need to shout, really. So, no opinion?
None. I know nothing about that, sir.
But I thought... Oh, never mind. Meekins! The last time we met, you were a police officer, right? In fact, you're still wearing your uniform.
Sir, I wish I didn't have to tell you this. But last year, a tragedy struck a rising star at the precinct. I lost my case files 4 times in 3 days. They fired me.
That takes real talent, actually. They don't know what they're missing.
So here I am, forced to start from square one, a lowly bailiff.
But your uniform...
I took it with me as a souvenir the day I was fired.
That can't be legal. Meekins, you're lucky I don't have a badge right now. So, you were the one who let the magician get away that day.
I'm dying over here. The star races among the court bailiffs full of hope, then tragedy strikes.
Is there anything you can tell me about it? About Zach Gramry's disappearance?
Oh, the humanity!
That's enough of that.
Why, yes, I'd say it was around 2 p.m. and when I heard a commotion in court. I opened the door to see what might be amiss. The door slams open, slam, and some guy's face is right there in front of me. Face!
So, you saw someone suspicious coming your way.
Yes, and I, being a bailiff of little standing, gave chase. I chased that silk cat all the way down the hall, sir.
I have a diagram of the court building here.
Ah, there's courtroom number 7. That's where I was, sir. All by myself, nary a friend to call my own.
Okay, and which way did Zach Gramry run after bursting through the courtroom door?
He went up like this, and around the corner like that.
I'm gonna take a guess here and assume Trucy was probably in on this. She was wearing the same colors as Zach. There's a chance that a funny magic trick could maybe convince people that they're chasing a child instead of you know, the actual person they're trying to catch.
So I, with no delay, ran after him with no delay. When I turned the corner, I saw that magic man run to the defendant lobby. Swiftly, I ran. Following him, I threw myself fully into the room. Why, I remember it like it was right here, because it was. Lobby number 2, sir.
You ran into this room? I don't see any place to hide in here.
Believe it or not, sir, I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. Here, in this room, the magician, gone, vanished like a puff of smoke. Except there wasn't even any smoke, he was just gone.
That's impossible.
Yes, that word. Oh, how many times I've said that word. Even the sound of it causes me indescribable pain. I'm dying. I'm dying over here.
Okay, I won't say it again, promise. But you have to admit it's difficult to vanish into thin air. Did you ever search the lobby?
I searched.
Why the pause?
There was nothing here at all, sir. That's right. Nothing was here, sir.
How can you talk so loud and still be hiding something? Yeah, So Zach was in this room when he vanished.
Absolutely, sir. I saw him with my own eyes. That red silk hat, the flowing cape. He ran right in here. He ran inside this room.
Silk hat, cape. That's Zach, all right.
But, sir, look at the room. There's not a single place to hide. Sir, there's nothing I could do but nothing, sir.
What about now? Have any ideas?
Sir, ideas about what exactly, sir, if you don't mind me asking?
You've had quite a bit of time since then. Has nothing occurred to you at all? Do you have any idea what trick he might have used to disappear like that? Aha! 2 Cyclops. Cyclops. I should have known. Alright, Meekins. The disappearing trick. Okay, Mr. Meekins. What do you know? Spit it out.
Hey! That's what the atmosphere now all of a sudden.
You know something, and I'm going to find out what. Zach Gramarye vanished from this room. How'd he do it?
How, sir? Well, sir, I can't say as... sir.
Why are you so nervous if you aren't hiding something?
Well, sir, you see, at the time, sir, I was here, and... listen, it was impossible. What could just a little girl possibly do anyway?
What did you just say?
Sir, did I just say something, sir?
No, you screamed through that megaphone of yours. There was someone else in the room, wasn't there?
Sir, I'm gonna have to invoke my right to remain silent. Remain in a state of not talking.
It's okay, Meekins. You don't have to tell me who Zach's accomplice was. I know who was here in this room on that day.
I never seen that girl until just the other day.
Mr. Meekins, I'm not buying it.
Sir, that day, she was there. In the room, sir. But he wasn't.
You mean you chased her into this room, not him?
Sir, in my days as a police officer, literally days, I learned a thing or two. Okay, just one thing. But it was just how not to mistake a girl for a 7-foot-tall magician.
7 feet? Zach isn't that tall, is he? You have a point. I find it hard to imagine that anyone would mistake a little girl for Zach Gramarye. Wait a minute. I think I know what it's referring to. But you saw something, and therein lies the trick. I think you know what it was, Mr. Meekins. Tell me, does this trick look familiar? No, it's not. I don't have anything, but I know exactly what it's talking about. I know exactly what it's referring to, but I don't have evidence of it. Wright & Co. Law Offices. Alright. 7 years ago, Wright & Co. Law Offices.
Oh, morning, Daddy.
Oh, I'm so glad you came.
You okay, Dad? He picking on you?
I'm fine as always. This old boy is here to help me after all.
That's the young man to you. Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on.
Thanks. My first show today, after all.
2 weeks have passed since then. I called her into my office. Hi there. Trucy, there's something we need to talk about. It's been 2 weeks since your father disappeared. we need to start thinking about your future. I did some calling around. This is hard to say, but you have no living relatives. So, I was wondering if you wanted to stay with me for a while. Just until your daddy comes home. It won't be long. I hope. Of course, it's totally your choice. If you don't like it here, you can go wherever you'd like. I could look up some places you might like to stay at. This is so weird.
Mr. Attorney, Daddy told me about you. He said I could trust you.
Really? Huh, really? Interesting.
So if I stay here, does that mean you'll be my family?
I guess so. Getting weirder.
Mr. Attorney?
Actually, why don't you call me Nick? Or you can call me Dad if you want. It doesn't have to be today or anything.
Okay, say Daddy.
That was quick. Yes?
If I move here, I have to switch schools, right? And I was thinking I haven't paid for lunches at my last school for a year. So thanks, Daddy.
Ah,
Oh, in this office, it's a little blah. A little color goes a long way, you know. Oh, Daddy, you got fired from work, right? Don't you worry one bit. I'll work twice as hard. We'll make it through this.
Trucy, how old are you?
I'm 8. Don't let appearances deceive you. I'm a young professional. Stick with me and you'll do just fine.
Ah, thanks. Why does it feel like she's already in charge?
Charlie!
My mentor's favorite plant, Charlie. I guess watering Charlie's my only real job now. Wait, I have a child now. I can't feed Trucy like this. She probably needs more than the occasional watering too, I'm guessing. An old movie poster hangs on the wall. I finally found out the title after not knowing for the longest time. I actually rented the movie the other day. Cried my eyes out. Ah, just thinking about it makes me tear up. Wait, it's just allergies. Really? I should show it to her when she's a little older. Wait, what was it called again? Phoenix and the Amnesia Without Any Cause. The collection of law books. My mentor bought all of them. I used to be too busy to read them. Now that I have the time to read them, there's no need. But I can't just sell them. Maybe Trucy will want to read them someday. Nah. My desk. Not that I have any reason to sit there anymore. I guess Trucy can use it. It's great for studying math, English, geography, magic. Ah, I'm not crying. I just got some dust in my eye. Trucy just staring at this this man who's just talking to himself constantly.
What?
You can still see that hotel from the window here. Oh god, no! Every time I look out, I think back on those old cases. I wonder if the view looks different now that I'm not wearing my old badge.
I really dig the far out view, Daddy.
Thanks. She must have learned a lot of words from her parents. Alright, I don't get the feeling that I'm gonna get any evidence from you, or any anything important from showing you evidence, but obvious.
So, Daddy, you got fired from being a lawyer, right?
You could at least kind of look aside or something when you say that. It's actually kind of hard for me. For Daddy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Daddy. Wait, is that foolish pride? My other daddy always used to talk about that.
Actually, that's pretty accurate.
So here's my idea. We'll make a new office. Well, that just seems so stiff, doesn't it? And no one will be my friend at school that way.
Well, that won't do, I guess. I just don't know much about anything other than law. Or even much about law, if you were to ask someone, people.
Maybe the problem is calling it an office. We should run an agency instead.
You mean, like a talent agency? Forgive me for asking, but doesn't it require talent?
You got me, don't ya? I'm a professional.
A professional?
Yep. After all, I'm directly descended from the famous Zach Gramarye.
Directly descended. He's your father.
Oh, and now I'm directly descended from the famous Phoenix Wright, too.
I think an 8-year-old just massaged my ego. Dad, could you tell me a bit more about your dad? Zach Gramry?
Daddy? Sure thing, Daddy.
Which daddy was that again?
Daddy's so amazing. The biggest star of Troop Gramry, and they're big.
The Gramrys. They were on a television a lot. I haven't seen them on much recently, come to think of it.
Big magic happens when you put Zack and Villa and Gramry together, you know. Once they meet a giant waterfall right there on the stage. And this giant trout swam up the giant waterfall.
Let me guess, there was a giant fisherman waiting for him at the top?
I wish I could have seen more of Daddy's magic.
I shouldn't have brought it up so soon.
And what will happen to me with Daddy and Mommy gone?
Mommy? Yeah, what about Mommy? I haven't heard anything about Trucy's mother.
I have my magic and a great daddy, even if he is unemployed. You know, I think things are going to be okay.
I wonder if she'll talk about her mother. Admittedly, you've got me curious now. Could you tell me about your mommy, if it's okay?
Mommy was so pretty. She was like an angel up on stage.
On stage? You mean with your dad?
Yep. She was always there with Zack and Blunt smiling. But then she went away.
Went away?
It was a grand illusion. But she made a mistake. She vanished. And I guess she didn't know how to get back.
Maybe so.
I cried then. A lot. That's when Daddy gave me this. Here.
Oh. Huh. This is your mother? She's beautiful.
Her name's Thalassa. Thalassa Gramry.
The last. Poor girl. I didn't know her mommy had gone missing. And now her daddy's vanished too, right before her eyes.
Daddy, you won't...
Don't worry, I won't vanish, I promise.
Right, you can't even do magic. You're like a backup plan. Daddy always said to have a backup plan.
I guess all I rate as is a backup plan. Thalassa. What about your professionalism? So Trucy, you're a professional?
Yes, it's like that thing they say. Baby frogs grow up to be frogs.
They say that?
I always thought it was funny though.
What was?
Aren't baby frogs called tadpoles? Maybe they thought it would be easier to understand that way for kids. How stupid.
Right. So, in conclusion, you're a professional magician, Trucy?
That's right. Well, wanna see a trick?
You're gonna do a magic trick? Please, show me. Actually, I would like to see your trick. The future of the agency depends on it, after all.
That's the spirit. Ready? Here goes. Ta!
Hey!
Hey, folks, it's Mr. Hat. I gotta say, it's good to be seen.
Whoa! That was... startling.
The amazing Mr. Hat. Isn't he great?
Your friendly neighborhood, Mr. Hat, at your service.
He certainly makes an impression.
Does he? I'm so glad you like him, Daddy.
My routines do get a bit heady at times. Get it? Heady?
My friendly neighborhood at Mr. Hat nearly gave me a heart attack. Trucy's favorite trick, startling realistic. I think that's probably enough for today. Sorry to ask you so much all at once like that.
It's okay. After all, we're family. I just hope you're ready. The Right Talent Agency opens tomorrow.
What? But are we representing anyone?
Me and you. That makes two, Daddy.
I think you needed more than that to make an agency. Besides, you may be a magician, but I'm no talent.
Oh, I'm sure there's something you're good at.
Well, when you put it that way.
You don't have any tricks? No old standbys? This will not do. Boy should always have a trick or two in his pocket.
Okay, I'll think of something.
That's the spirit. See you bright and early tomorrow.
Oh god, Mr. Hat.
Welcome to the team, Daddy-O.
The team. Right. Sometimes when magicians vanish, they leave something behind. That's how Trucy became Trucy Wright. My daughter. To be honest, I was pretty lost those first few days. Thinking back on it, it was a pretty dark time in my life. But Trucy? Happy, smiling Trucy. She was my light. So I assume that's the first of the keys? Yep. So now, that's one section done. I wonder if that means we can actually explore the present at all. No, we cannot. But I do know where we can continue from there. We don't actually have to go to Drew's studio yet. Let's go back here. I can finally answer... I can answer your question. I know exactly how the disappearance happened now. So. Okay, Mr. Meekins. Blah, 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 blah. The accomplice was this. The accomplice was one child.
I do that. Sir!
So, what you mistook for a man was indeed one Mr. Hat.
What's that?
The girl's favorite trick, the amazing Mr. Hat. She uses it in her show down at the Wonder Bar. Have you been to the Wonder Bar?
So, it wasn't a waking dream, was it, sir?
Come again?
That night on stage, I saw a vision. Except it wasn't a vision. It was a hat. An amazing Mr. Hat. He really exists.
The amazing Mr. Hat. Unlock successful. So, tell us more about it.
I remember it clearly, though the details are a little vague. Zach Ramery exited the courtroom. I gave chase and cornered him in the corner room, sir. Zach Ramery, don't even think you can escape Meekins. Get on your hands, floor on your head. Hello?
Something the matter, mister?
No, but that is... Sir, I'm currently chasing a suspect, sir. Zach Ramery, do you know him?
Oh, I love Zach Gramery. His magic is the best. I'm his biggest fan.
I see. That's why you're wearing that costume you're wearing. Anyway, the very same Zach came into this room.
But no one's been in here except me.
He has to be in here somewhere. Under the sofa, in the trash can, behind the painting, under the rug.
So, Trucy was his accomplice.
Imagine my astonished surprise when 1 week later, I just happened to walk into a bar and say to him,
Mr. Hat.
I couldn't believe my own eyes. For a while, I thought it had all been a long dream.
A dream that lasted a week.
But it wasn't a magician who disappeared. It was Mr. Hat.
Though it seems complex, what really happened that day was quite simple. You were standing by the door, and out came Zach. But that wasn't all. Another person got in on the act, and she was standing in front of lobby number 2. Along with Mr. Hat.
Ah, that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
So, while you are standing in the shock and amazement, the magician rounds the corner, and most likely runs to the closest door into lobby number 1. This is where you come in. You turn the corner in rather lukewarm pursuit, and at the very moment, Trucy runs into lobby number 2. Then, all she has to do is tuck away the amazing Mr. Hat.
Sir, I only lost sight of him for the briefest of moments. Then I saw the cape! Zach Gramery's red cape, fluttering like a cape! Astounding, sir! All my days of posing queries, making inquiries, and chasing queries, wasted! It was as if I could see them melting away. Like an ice cream cone left by the side of a road to die. Oh, the scattered remains of a messily eaten chocolate buffet.
Such sweet sorrows. I'm sorry. I had no idea how much you'd suffer on account of this case.
It's an honor, sir. I've apologized to people many, many times, sometimes more than once. But this is the first time anyone's ever apologized to me.
Actually, about that girl, I'm sort of her guardian now.
Is that so? Sir, you should know that I harbor no ill feelings whatsoever in my harbor.
Okay.
I let the defendant escape. That's the stone cold truth. Just another step on my way from singing the blues to wearing the blues. Someday, sir, I'll be standing side by side with a great detective cops.
Mr. Meekins, this is a free ticket to the show at the Wonder Bar. If you want it.
It's an honor, sir. Sir, I can't count the number of things I've had taken from me, sir. But no one's ever given me anything for free. Right. I'll see you in court next time then, sir.
I look forward to it. There's the second key. All eyes were on Zach Gramry that day in court, until his mysterious disappearance. Now part of the mystery's been revealed, but the magician remained out of sight. It would be 7 years before I met him again. I think now I need to go to the Drew studio. Whoa, 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 whoa! The Borscht Bowl Club? Well, if you're giving me the opportunity, I can't say I'm very well eager to decline. Present day, the Borscht Bowl Club. You! I'll be taking my leave now. Still have some work to do back at the office. Then I guess I'll go back to my piano. To be honest, it's better when you aren't playing. This frigid culinary dungeon almost feels comfortable. Later, then. 2 hours left on my shift. Wonder if we'll get any customers tonight. Ahem. Do you know who I am? I knew it. Yep. Who am I? Who I am? No, but if you hum it, I can play it. Just kidding. I don't do requests. How about a different sort of request? You see, I play cards. Oh? A customer. I was just hoping someone would come in and save me from a night at the Keys. I seek a true competition. I've heard of the Borscht Bowl Club is the place for this. Now I see the rumor is true. And this is a friend of yours. Why are you here?
Don't mind me. I'm just your friendly neighborhood newsman.
He will not be playing tonight. When his business is finished, I shall send him home. This competition will be between us, no others.
The Right Talent Agency represents 2 artists, and I'm number 2. I play piano. Well, sort of. It's actually just a front for my real talent, which is playing poker. Don't ask me how I got started. I'll remember. But I'm good. Real good. It didn't take long for the rumors to get around. Go to the Borscht Bowl Club if you want a real game. That guy's never lost. People don't come here to hear me tickle the ivory. They come to watch me play cards. Is this a seedy poker club? No. It's a restaurant. We don't play for high stakes. There's no money involved. But real players carry cash. And they're always thirsty. It's a handy source of income for the club owner. Then, let's compete. I'll take you to the room.
The hideout, yes. But before we go,
Yes?
allow me to introduce myself. My name is Shady Smith.
Oh, and I'm Brussel. Spark Brussel, news reporter.
Oh, I'm...
No, Phoenix Wright.
Huh?
You must always look a man in the eyes when you make your introductions. You still do not know who I am.
Have we met?
Today in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. What are you talking about? I'm talking about this. He's gone.
Why'd you let him escape? Do something!
Bailiff, how many times have I asked you to keep the door locked?
You can't be. But you're... Zach Gramarye.
Yes, the reincarnation act of the century. Pity I have only an audience of one.
You. Zach Gramarye. This must be a bad dream. In a sense, this guy ruined my life.
You there. We will play soon. Ready the room.
I will be preparing the hideout for you.
Well, well, well. Are you really him? The Zach Gramarye?
Now I am Shady Smith. Remember this.
How many years has it been now? 6?
In exactly 3 days from now, it will be 7. I caused you much inconvenience, I fear.
Yeah, you could say that.
Is she well? Trucy, I mean?
She's fine. I've got her working already. I hope you don't mind.
I need hardly express my gratitude. But you have it. This is why I've come. That, and to settle a matter of cards.
By which you mean poker? Those eyes, he's serious.
I despise losing above all else. And so I decide that I will win tonight, no matter what it takes.
I know this guy's type, and they're dangerous. Everything's about the competition. All else is secondary.
Perhaps we should take the time to talk before we play. I know you have much to ask me. And I, you.
Well, first, let's examine the room. The piano?
I must say, it comes as quite a surprise. I never knew you played.
I'd do anything else if I could, believe me. Oh yeah, there's something you could help me with. Do you think you could make that piano disappear? It'd help out in a lot of ways, really. Nice face.
You say the funniest things with the straightest of faces.
People always tell me that, except I wasn't joking. Grape.
This is grape juice. Is it refreshing?
I usually drink too much and it ends up making me thirsty.
Oh, Mr. Rice. There's something inside that bottle.
Huh? It's my business card.
You aren't surprised at all. Perhaps you don't like magic?
I sure felt surprised. Maybe I had my poker face on. One of the restaurant tables. This one's the closest to piano. Which makes it the hardest to eat at, I hear. On days when I'm playing, that is. I suck. Why did they hire me again? Oh yeah, the poker.
What do you think about the ukulele? The sound is slight, the annoyance curtailed.
A ukulele in a Russian restaurant?
Then you must go to the Hawaiian restaurant.
Hawaiian shirts don't go with my complexion.
I give up.
Matryoshka doll. There's not a lot to examine here, actually. Weird. Alright, Mr. Shady Smith. We competed that day 7 years ago, too.
Ah, yes. You must have been surprised. Called to the detention center out of the blue.
2. 1. Showdown time. I lost. It's only a game of poker. A game I've played for a long time, and only lost twice. Who was the first? The man I killed, of course. You chose your defense attorneys by playing poker.
Some are hired, others fired. When you compete, you see a man's true nature. You know what I speak of. I know that you do.
Trucy's power?
Trucy? She's in a class of her own.
For 7 years, I've played poker here at the Borscht Bowl Club, and I've never lost once. I'm good, but not that good. I win because whenever there's a big game, I bring in Trucy. And she sends me signals.
right. He's got a good hand. You might have a chance if you act quick. Better call him soon.
Can you tell me what her power is? Judging a person's thought by reading their reactions is a staple of performance magic. But those of Trucy's line possess far greater skill. Her line? Recall you were the second man to whom I've lost. Magnifique Gramarye. That was the first time I learned of this power, as you call it. Wait, so you're saying her power is genetic? It's just in the Gramarye blood or something? Blood. Oh, what the? I'm sorry, but it is not something told lightly to outsiders. And there's nothing you need to know at this time. It's some kind of Gramarye secret, then. Fine. She's 15 this year. She's still trying her best to follow in your footsteps, you know? I see. When I planned my disappearing act, it was the thought of her alone that gave me pause. Wait, you were planning on vanishing from the get-go? Yes. And for that, I must apologize. However, I could not be found guilty that day. Because of this. Yes? The transfer of rights. Do you see the signature? Transferal? That's Magnifique Gramarye's signature, isn't it? I hereby give up... Oh. Huh. Well, well, well. So this is the true final page. I hereby give all rights to the secret staging and performance of my magic to the recipient named below. Recipient Zach Gramarye. Magnifique Gramarye. It was Valant, I think. Valant was the killer. It had to have been. Valant saw this page. And, well, this tells you what? This tells you this tells you the whole story of what happened. The recipient named below. And the recipient's name is you, Zach Gramarye. Yes, it is I. Wait, this page looks torn. Recall the diary, yes? The one that... First, take a close look at this diary. Note that a page has clearly been ripped out. As it just so happens, I have here what I believe to be the missing page.
Wait, let me see that.
How could I forget? That scrap of paper lost me my attorney's badge.
This is the real page that was torn from the book. Magnifique gave it to me that night.
You could have told me this earlier. Like 7 years earlier.
Once again, I must apologize. It was all I could do to prepare for my escape from that courtroom. The greatest of Magnifique Gramarye's illusions are true arts. As such, they are well protected by this document. Only its bearer may perform his illusions on stage.
Sounds like a pretty important thing to have if you're his disciple. As a rightful heir to his art, I too wanted a rightful heir. Rightful? I'm sure you know who I chose as my successor. Your daughter.
That is why I've risked all to come here tonight. Brusher.
Sir! Here you go.
What's this?
A letter passing the rights. I have inherited to Trucy. I would have you sign here as a witness.
But I'm not a lawyer anymore. And you need a public notary. Besides...
I may not look it, but I'm a certified notary.
You are?
By day, I wear notary's glasses and hunt for news. Also by day, I wear reporter's glasses and notarize. When I take off the glasses, I can't see very well.
Thank you.
Your signature, please. This is the first reason I have come here tonight.
Transfer of rights. Document transferring the right to perform from the Gramarye repertoire to their daughter Trucy. Ah, I finally figured it out. Now I know why you've come out of hiding only now. It's been 7 years, you said.
Precisely. There's a law that covers your situation. After 7 years, missing persons are considered to be legally deceased. So, if someone was to vanish from the face of the earth 7 years ago, they would lose all rights as a living person after 7 years from that day. Not to mention all their possessions. Exactly. Which is why I'm here. I was showing my face in public for the sake of this document. Before my 7 years are up. You might say I am securing my daughter's inheritance. But do you really need this document? Wouldn't Trucy inherit your estate automatically? Not in this case, I'm afraid. This case? Yes, I received the performance rights from Magnifi Gramry. However, this was done in secret without witnesses. Before Magnifi died, two potential successors were his repertoire were named. Myself, Zach Gramry, and Delant Gramry. Not Trucy. I see. So you do need this document. I've known Brushel since before I vanished. He is a man I trust. Now, only 3 know of my rebirth. I took the liberty of looking into Trucy's background, and found you had no other close kin. Just as you say. Okay. I was kind of hoping you'd say something about the mother at this point. I know everyone else, but Trucy's mother is a mystery. This person in the photo is Trucy's mother? How did you come by this? Trucy showed it to me. She said her mother was gone. Then it is so. Huh? She is gone. What more is there to say?
What? I know. Oh, you're still here? According to my in-depth research, Trucy's mother, Magnifi Gramry's only daughter. End quote. What? Magnifi's only daughter? Is that true? Mr. Zach?
Brushel, you say too much.
What? Why am I that guy? Why?
Zach decked him. In any case, Mr. Wright, this discussion is over.
Thalassa Gramry. She's the most mysterious of the whole lot. I need to gather me some more evidence, clearly.
But the prelude may have been longer than the main attraction. Shall we begin our game? My final competition?
Final? Why?
As you said, I have come out of hiding today to make this document legally binding.
Once that is done, I shall slip once more underground. Without seeing your daughter?
It would be best if I did not. 7 years ago, we played. 7 years ago, I lost. I already lost to Magnifi. I do not care to lose another. And I have heard that you never lose.
It's just a rumor.
Yes, but it is impossible to never lose, unless one has an ace up the sleeve. As a magician, it causes me no end of irritation. To think a mere lawyer might be out there pulling the wool over so many eyes. Hey, I just signed your document for you. Maybe you could try lining up? How was that? This is this. For my final competition, I will destroy your perfect record, Phoenix Wright. This will be my final performance. You are warned.
This guy's beyond serious. So much for a fun evening of cards.
Brushel, you may leave.
But it's your last game. I need what a scoop.
I punch and I punch, but still it is not enough.
I just remembered a future prior engagement. Toodle, gentlemen. Oh, and nice meeting you, Piano Man.
Then let us begin. Dealer, you will be witness to our competition.
He's honor for me.
Why haven't I seen her around here before?
Oh, that reminds me. I saw a familiar face as I entered this restaurant. He did not seem to notice me, however. Gavin, I believe was his name.
You know him?
After a fashion. Listen, Phoenix Wright. One can learn much from a true competition. Remember this.
Another key, huh? Gramry power. I was close to understanding it, but I needed more. And I knew where to get it. Trucy's mother. I need to meet that reporter again. That was clear. And one other thing. From the moment my final competition with Zach began that night, the name was running through my head. The name of a man now in prison.
The name Zach Gramry knew. But how? And why? Solitary Cell 13. I can tell who this is just by how fancy it looks. Present day Central Prison, Solitary Cell 13. Hello there. Well, if it isn't this an unexpected surprise? What errand brings you down to my cramped confines? Gavin.
Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright? Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago?
My past is like my logic. Straight and true. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction. Fine. I'm glad we could have this little tete-a-tete. Right. You look well, Phoenix Wright. You too, Gavin. He's gonna be the— Oh! There it is! That envelope's been bothering me since I came in here. It's not nice to peek at other people's mail. You get mail here in jail. Also, that is a very threatening, face you're making. That I do. Though they read it first, apparently. Still, I am allowed the pleasure of correspondence. Packages and the like are a different matter, however. Looks like sneaking in a peek is out of the question. Why the rose? Nice roses. You taking care of this one here? Ah, yes. She's surprisingly delicate, you know. Requires careful tending, but she is my best friend, as they say. Best? Come on, now I'm starting to feel bad for you. Oh? Of course. She's known to bite if handled roughly. Your rose bites? I was speaking of the photo next to the rose. My retriever, Vongol. Cute, but feisty. Every dog has its thorn.
Let me see the puppy.
You may be villainous, but your dog isn't.
Let me see the puppy.
That's some share. Just looking at it makes me want to take a seat. You probably have to add a whole digit to the price of one of my office chairs. In here, a comfortable chair is the most valuable thing in the world. You'd have to add 2 digits to the price of the standard prison-issued chair for this. Those prison chairs don't look so bad either. Maybe I should redecorate. Nice violin. It's strange, you know? Here I am in solitary, and yet the books keep piling up. Looks like you've got more than books up here. Ah, yes, my collection. I have a few friends on the prison staff. They show me a little kindness. Just a little? This is a lot more than a little, boyo. Alright, Gavin's murder. Life has been full of surprises, for both of us. I've no doubt you never expected to lose that attorney's badge of yours. I'll bet you never expected to wind up here. Shady Smith was the name of the man you killed. Do you know who he really was? Who he was? Zach Gramry. You know, the defendant. I remember him, of course. But you say Smith was Zach. Impossible. Don't even try to tell me it was a coincidence. What did I just say? Life is full of surprises. Don't you think? After that trial, you were arrested and found guilty. But your motive was never made clear. A mistake I plan to remedy. You're not an attorney anymore, Phoenix Wright. What possible conclusion do you think this investigation of yours can lead to? I killed a man named Smith with a bottle because I am a evil human being. Isn't that enough? Not for me, it isn't. I need to know why you did it, Gavin. Recall that case 7 years ago. Ah, yes, the trial was Zach Gramry pulled his famous vanishing act. My brother won his fair share of praise and an adoration for that trial, as I recall. Genius prosecutor reveals crooked attorney, was it? That was when I met you, wasn't it? Was it now? The Bar Association Review Board voted unanimously for the strictest punishment. Unanimous. save for one dissenting opinion. Yours. It was my brother who was responsible for putting you in that position, after all. For 7 years, we've been friends. And yet, I still don't understand you. But right, your friendship toward me was never pure. You suspected me then, as you still do now, don't you? Honestly, right now, I'm not sure what I think. You didn't just brain a guy with a juice ball for no reason. Tell me why you did it. Persistent, are you? I came here because I remembered something. The night of our game, Zach Ramry mentioned your name, Gavin.
Ah, that reminds me. I saw a familiar face as I entered this restaurant. He did not seem to notice me, however.
Gavin.
I believe it was his name.
After that, he was killed. And I asked you to help me. Because I remembered your kindness back when everyone had turned on me. I seem to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Dead. Someone hit him. Hard. Me? Please. Cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that. I have to know. Why did you kill Shady Smith? No, Zach Gramry. Of course. Whoa! I've never seen Cyclops like these. Black Cyclops? Excuse you? Cold. Full of despair. Can I even unlock these things? What are these? Something wrong, right? No, it's nothing. You shouldn't push yourself so hard. Life is to be taken easy, you know. What the? Huh? What are you doing? He's doing his nails. What? Why? I can't break these. It won't even let me choose. Huh. Black Cyclops, huh? Something so well hidden in somebody's heart that not even a Magatama can break it, it seems. Guess that's gonna have to be left to Apollo then, I assume. Black Cyclops. Unless there's something definitive, like truly definitive. Like something that could break all of them at once, maybe. Dark, cold. Why is he doing his nails? It's weird. What do you think about this, Gavin? I hardly need remind you that I am not a free man. I care little about the outside world, save advances in share technology. No information forthcoming there, I guess. Look at Mr. Hat. If I have to watch you shake your head every single time, I'm gonna be upset. Gavin, stop it. Gavin! Gavin! Is there anything? What about the forged evidence? Oh, that. Oh, that. That's the thing that got you... That got your badge taken away. What, you want me to laugh at you? There, have that. Are you satisfied, Phoenix? Leave me alone! I don't think I can do anything there. Well, let's go back to the Drew studio then. "7 years ago, Drew Studio. Woo! I figured you'd come here sooner or later. Oh, hi, it's you. I signed on sooner, Drew Misham. Was it? I haven't done anything illegal. And I didn't come here to whine about past events. I wanted to ask you some questions. I suppose you have that right.
That day, the entire court descended into chaos. Only you stood still, your eyes calmly watching. I admit, it made quite an impression on me.
I'm used to finding myself in outrageous situations.
It's right, was it? I'll answer what I can.
I'm not sure, but feels like I'm being watched. Intensely. Oh, hi.
Ah, this is my daughter. Vera, say hello.
Never mind. She's gone.
Shall we begin then?
This room has no wall. What's this painting here?
Ah, that's one of mine. It's an illustration for a book. It's not on sale yet, of course, but I thought it might be good business. As a father, I'd like to be able to put food on my daughter's table.
Not a feeling I know anything about. At least not yet.
Ah, going home by any chance?
No, I was just checking out the door.
Oh,
Good thing I'm far too stubborn to take hints like that. Paints are scattered all around. Probably the ones he's currently using. There's something very artistic about a messy room. Not that this is anything compared to my office. I guess I would make my office a masterpiece. I am a genius!
oh no.
What? Whoa! You still got all the crazies back here. I see that hand! And I see the stamp! There's some finished paintings stacked here. They don't look all that bad, really.
I'll sell you one for 50 cents.
That's okay. They look kind of heavy.
Oh,
Maybe he needs to work on his sales technique a bit. I need to know all this. Maybe I'll just sidle on over here for a closer look. That stamp's there. That's an awfully small frame. What's that inside it? Stamp?
please don't touch that. I'll get in trouble. That stamp belongs to Vera, you see. He always puts it somewhere so you can see it.
True. That's Zack and Vallon. The Bramries, isn't it?
The post office issued that commemorative stamp last year, when the Grammarys were at the height of their popularity.
Not anymore. Now that one of them has vanished off the face of the earth.
Vera went to see one of their shows when she was quite small. She's been a dedicated fan ever since. She watched them every time they came on TV, until the end.
I see.
That stamp's quite hard to come by, I hear. I still wonder how she got her hands on it.
Commemorative stamp showing the Troop Grammarye. It's you. This is you and Vera.
Yes, we took that one quite recently. I know, I'm a painter. Why not paint a portrait instead? I've never been that good at people, unfortunately.
Ah, right. Shouldn't you practice? That's an awfully small frame. There's a commemorative stamp of the Grammarys inside. This thing is making me paranoid. That's a pretty bottle.
Don't touch that, please. I'll get in trouble. It belongs to Vera, you see. He always puts it somewhere so you can see it. She looks at it often.
So, there is a very strange connection point with Vera and Kristoff now, which is nails. Why was Kristoff doing his nails? There's a light pink fluid inside. Nail polish, I'm guessing. What's this red envelope?
Don't touch that. That's, it's quite important.
Painter's face just changed hues. Guess I'd better behave. Though it's tempting to just grab it. You use these gizmos for painting? They're pretty elaborate.
Those aren't for painting. They're for analyzing. Paint composition, age, every conceivable angle.
Rules of the forgery trade, I guess. Paints and pigments are lined up on the shelves, with some noticeable gaps.
It's embarrassing, but I can't afford all the paints I want. I insist on buying the ones I use with my own money.
I can see how you'd want to do that, sure.
Perhaps you've heard that you can make any color, as long as you have 3 primary colors. Well, it's a lie.
Poor guy.
It's not that easy to make color, people. I've been scammed too way too much. I just want to paint.
Alright, Drew Misham. Judging from this place, you're a painter?
Not, sadly, a profitable one. I've never sold a painting. It's a source of considerable embarrassment. I would be able to get by were it only me.
Your daughter?
Her mother grew weary of me and left. I don't want her to grow up needy, Mr. Wright. That is why I began my other occupation.
Forgeries.
Don't look at me with those eyes. I know what it is that I do. More than half of the paintings they bring me are stolen. And who knows what my copies are used for.
But some of your works aren't paintings, correct?
You may not believe me when I tell you this, but that was my first work outside of painting.
What?
To think it would be used as evidence in a murder trial. I never even imagined the possibility.
Then why did you take the job?
I was well paid. Very well paid.
I think he feels worse about it than I do. Past is hard to escape.
Honestly, the sooner I can put this behind me, the better. With apologies to you, of course.
Sorry, but it's not going to be quite so easy. He's trying to forget what he made. Looks like I'll have to remind him. You can't run from your sin. Your work. Don't try to pretend you've forgotten. Sure, all you did was make a copy. That copy might have destroyed the life of an innocent man. I'm responsible too, which is why I have to know. And you have to tell me.
I knew it would be difficult to escape this.
Then let's talk. Well then, ready to tell me about this work you did?
It was unlike anything I had attempted before.
I guess it would be a little different from paintings.
That is not what I mean. In all my previous work, it sufficed to create a copy.
This wasn't a copy?
The client gave me 2 things that day. The first was a sample page as reference. The second, a printed document I can only surmise was written by my client.
So you used the real writing as a reference to reproduce what the client wrote?
Yes. As I said, it was my first job of that nature.
So, who was your client?
As I said in court, I do not know.
Really? Even for such a suspicious request? If it was me, I'd want to know as much as I could about the requester.
I never met them. Not personally.
A Cyclock, of course. Seems like you're still hiding something. Something about this work. Alright, Drew. Drew Misham. Enough games, Drew. Let's talk. You're hiding something. Let's hear it then. What are you hiding from me, Mr. Misham?
I'm sorry, but I really don't know. I never met my client.
True. When I asked the client's name, there were no Cyclocks in sight. Regardless, you're hiding something. You have to be, otherwise it wouldn't make any sense.
Why are you doing this to me?
Well, I've made my stand. No backing down now. So, what's Masham hiding? Is he hiding the forger? I can pretty much piece together what it is from what you said.
What is it then?
You told me what you knew about the client. And I couldn't see any Psycholocks.
Psycholocks? Is that some kind of asylum security or new house style, perhaps?
But then they did show up, didn't they? Who was your client?
As I said in court, I do not know.
Really? Even for such a suspicious request? If it was me, I'd want to know as much as I could about the requester.
I never met them. Not personally.
Not personally. Those words triggered the Psycholocks.
Again, with the Psycholocks. Now I really must know what they are.
So you didn't meet with the client, but someone else did. Maybe the real forger behind this evidence?
Perhaps I'm hung up on this lock business. But I'm afraid you've lost me.
Yeah, well, I didn't come here to talk about Psycholocks. As long as I come to the right conclusion, it doesn't matter how I got there.
And your conclusion is?
The real forger behind this wasn't you, Mr. Masham.
Poppycock! I don't know what you're talking about. That's my work, I tell you. Made here in my studio. Who else could have done it but me?
That's the real question, isn't it? If the forger wasn't you, then I don't have many other people to choose from. The real forger at Drew Studio is... The real forger is your daughter, Vera Masham, isn't it?
Ridiculous. My daughter's only 12 years old, Mr. Wright. I've always been more one for landscapes, not surrealism.
Nice comeback, but you're shaking in your boots. I've got you now. The only two people with access to the studio are you and your daughter. The Cyclops tell me you're not the forger, which makes your daughter the only possibility.
I feel very much on the verge of going psycho-lock myself.
Yep.
I don't know how you knew it, but you're right. The one who made this page was my daughter, Vera, not I. She's only 12, a genius you might call her.
A precocious little girl outshining her father. There's been a lot of that going around here recently.
I let her play in the studio and she wants me. She taught herself in that way. Drafting tools and analytical devices I bought when they became necessary. They're my little girl's playthings now.
Ah, do I detect a bit of fatherly pride? So, Vera was the one who made this page. Would she know who the client was then?
Actually, the client came once. Here, to the studio.
What? Why didn't you say so sooner?
But their face was covered, and they did not want to talk to me.
So, they talked to your daughter?
I would speak only with the artist, the client told me.
Then that little girl's the key to our mystery client's true identity. Okay, what do I do now? Maybe I should talk to her father a bit more? Or is it time to turn my attention to Vera? Mr. Masham, I have a request.
Let me guess. You'd like to speak with my daughter.
Can I?
My daughter has never been one to talk to strangers. She's quite shy. Extremely so, actually. With only one exception.
Which was?
Oddly enough, it was that client. I left the studio while they talked. I returned when they had finished, and she was laughing. It was the first time I'd seen anything of the sort.
Please, let me speak with her.
All right.
Uh-oh, this could be tough. Vera, was it? Would you like to have a friendly chat? I'm Phoenix Wright, ex-lawyer and pianist. I'm still looking for the keys that say do, re, mi, can't find them anywhere. I'm not good at this. I need something to get through to this girl. Alright. You want something that'll get through to her, it'll probably be this. What do you think about this? I think I just made her nervous. I need something to grab her attention. What? Aha! And then, there's this.
My stamp.
Hey, she spoke. She can talk. Yeah, so the stamp. How can I keep her talking? Great magicians, aren't they? Isn't True Gramarye amazing? Yes?
Oh,
I especially like those two, Zack and Vallon. I mean, they're, just so magical.
aren't they? Aren't they?
Yeah, whenever I go to one of their shows, I'm like, whoa, magic. You know?
Me too. Me too. I love them. They're so cool. It's like magic. Yeah.
Alright, she's talking. Not saying much, but it's a start.
I were around and saw them with Father the other day. The opening ceremony at the Gramarye Museum of Magic.
The Grammy Museum? They have one of those? I guess it makes sense now that they have their own commemorative stamp. So, have you been to one of their shows?
Just once, when I was little, with Father. The Gramarye's on stage. It was like a dream. Disappearing, reappearing, cutting apart, putting back together. They do it all.
Little Vera's so cute.
Little baby.
Yeah. Maybe you can keep telling me stuff like this. You know, about Zack and Vallon, maybe?
Oh, sure.
Alright, better get asking before she changes her mind.
I don't go outside much. I like to paint in here.
Why don't you like the outside?
There's bad people out there.
Well, true, but there are a lot of good people too.
Actually, I should tell you. She was almost kidnapped once.
Oh, great! Really? Kidnapped?
Since then, she's been... Well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house.
I see. Wait, but that doesn't make sense. She said she went to the Gramarye Museum. With you, in fact.
Yes, actually. She was quite insistent on it, much to my surprise. That was the first and last time she expressed such a desire to me.
That person gave me a good luck charm
A good luck charm.
for when I absolutely had to go outside.
Yes, apparently she received something, a gift. From that client, actually. She won't tell me what it is.
Father, I told you to keep that a secret.
From that client, huh? This I have to hear about. I'm too curious. So, you met the person that asked you to do this job? And you talked with them? What's this about a good luck charm you received?
I can't talk about it.
Huh?
If I do, it won't work anymore. That's what I was told.
Yeah, but I really, really have to know. Aha. Right, time to do some psych unlocking. Let's look at your other stuff first. So, your father tells me you're good at painting all sorts of things.
I really like painting, a lot. Father is always very happy when I paint them exactly the same.
So, you did this too?
Oh, yes, that's my first job.
Your first?
All I used to do was paint the same thing I saw. But this was totally different. The pen slips in the way the writer held the pen, and the pressure on the nib. I had to use a microscope to analyze it on the computer.
She seems happy. Odd. Her work was the last nail in the Gramarye coffin. I guess no one told her.
They're the best in the world.
Huh? Oh, you mean True Gramarye, of course.
Father gave it to me.
Your father? But I asked him about it. He didn't know how you got it.
Oh, I guess I just took it. Yeah,
Tuck it?
Father got a letter from that person.
That person? You mean that letter was from the client?
Oh, we talked about the Gramarye's forever that day. I'm sure that's why I was sent that stamp. I didn't want to just send it back, so I took it.
They're a sneaky one, this client. So they were trying to get on her good side. Sent from the real client. The client. You seem to trust this client. Quite a lot, in fact. Because they gave you this stamp.
Oh, that's not why. You listen to me. It's my problem.
Problem. That keeps her inside all the time?
Don't go outside if you don't want to. That's what they told me. But when I absolutely have to go out, all I have to do is use a good luck charm.
A good luck charm that your client gave you. I think I know what your client might have given you, actually. Is this a good luck charm? I don't think I got it. That being said, though, I wonder... I still have to finish the detention center at some point. Is that when you know what happens later? We'll see. I want to go back to Solitary Cell 13. Hey, Kristoff. You wouldn't happen to know anything about a... What do you think about this? I laugh at you. You suck. What about the Borscht Bowl Club? It says I haven't actually finished here, but it... Oh, yeah, because I never actually... Forgot about that, actually. That's why it didn't end proper. The Gramarye Secret. I have to know more about this power of Trucy's. It's like she can see right into people's minds. The first time I saw her do it, it blew mine. And after you were done having your mind blown, you took her to play cards with you. Gotta use the resources at hand, I always say. Yet I myself have no such power. But Trucy does. Why is that? Maybe Trucy got her power from her mother. Thalassa Gramarye? I will not speak of that. Thalassa Gramarye is officially... Thalassa is officially missing, correct? And I think I know why you don't want to talk about her. I don't actually... What? Zach's signature. I'm sure he's written it many times, being an ex-star and all. But there's plenty of people out there who'd kill for a Zach Gramarye autograph. No. The ripped out page. Now I see that everything has been set up. Also, I will present forged evidence to the court. I've already checked this before. There we go. So this is Trucy's mother, Thalassa. She's pretty. I can picture her on stage with Zach. Still, she looks like a down-to-earth type, too. Guess Trucy takes after her. One place that I haven't gone back to check in a while is you. Would you accept this evidence that I have brought across time and space? What about the last? The trick up his sleeve. There must be a path leading from the evidence to truth, and that's what I'm gonna find. To ask someone to take a life, even one not long for this world, that's asking someone to commit murder.
Yes, our mentor was fond of dramatic moves and dramatic finales.
And he got his wish. His life was taken. What weakness could be so powerful as to coerce someone into committing murder? My guess is it was a matter of life or death.
Could I explain?
Their troop lived in a world of showmanship. The flashier the better. And the flashy so often means danger, doesn't it?
Let us make this as painless as possible. If you have proof of this danger, then show it.
Is it...
And this is your idea of danger.
You don't agree, Mr. Vaughn?
If you're my opinion, I would say there's something far from more dangerous. And that is his hit point.
It's a little early for me to be making mistakes. Think deadly. What's more deadly than a fatal accident? That could be the source of the Grammy's problems.
Ah, and this your
Alright, I need to start being careful, and I don't know where I'm supposed to... Alright. Just so I'm not stuck here forever, I just want to know, where is it gonna... What does it recommend I do? Oh, it's recommending me go out. Where do you recommend I go, game? Let me just see that. It's the present. To the solitary cell 13. That wasn't there before. Excuse you, what is this?
You're thinking what self-respecting man would use nail polish?
Not really. I know appearances are a big thing with you.
Do you know what I say? One cannot live a beautiful life without beautiful nails. First rate in all things, except nothing less.
That certainly does look like first-rate nail polish. I like the sparkly bottle.
It's crystal. If you're so drawn to it, please have one.
It's on me. Nail polish slipped into the pocket. There we go. I think now I know where to continue. Now I see the trail that I can follow. Before I do that, though, I want to check this out first. High five! No. What? What's this? Ariadone? I've heard of that brand. This must be the brand symbol. It's supposed to be some kind of flower. Wait, no, maybe it's a hand. Wait, on second thought. Is that an eagle? Okay, I saw an eagle first. Who makes these things up, anyway? You'd think they'd try for a clear symbol, at least. I saw eagle. What if I just... Wait, you know what? It's probably the wrong order of things. Anyways, child. Is this your good luck charm? This was what they gave you, wasn't it? The same bottle's over there on your desk. Your good luck charm, right?
I heard once cosmetics were once thought to ward off evil. This is a magic bottle. It has the power.
Ah, of course it does. I'll just refrain from commenting on any more on that one. I think I know who gave you that bottle, actually. The one who asked you to do this job. Was this the client? This man is a friend of mine. Know him? His name is Christoph Gavin. He's a lawyer, actually.
I promised not to tell.
Bingo. Hey, I forgot, that heals me.
I'm sorry. I can't talk about the client. I promised. And if I break my promise, the spell won't work.
I don't need a name anymore. I've got my answer. You're pretty confident in this charm, ain't then?
I think he might be the devil.
Oh! Excuse you? that took a sudden twist. They're my friend. They gave me this good luck charm. I think they may be the devil. Huh? Huh?
Or maybe an angel.
What do you mean?
I saw it. Or I think I saw it. When they gave me this. I saw the devil's face.
Are you saying the client's face looked like the devil's?
No, the client was gentle. With a gentle smile.
So where'd you see this devil then?
It was so quick. I don't remember so well. But that's when I knew that person wasn't like the other people. That's why I believe in my good luck charm.
I'm not sure what this devil she saw was. But it's pretty clear that Christoph Gavin has her charmed. Well, I think that's all. I'll be leaving now.
I'm sorry for what happened.
You want to apologize? Try my client, Zach Gramery.
Did I do something bad?
What makes you think that?
Your eyes. They're sad. Very sad.
I'll put on my smile next time I come. Promise. I hope to see you smile then too, Vera.
Oh, okay.
Take care. Thinking back on my first encounter with the young forger, I witnessed something of vital importance that day. Of course, by the time I realized it, it was already too late. The devil. Any current theories? Well, I'm almost positive who the killer has to be, considering there's a letter here that tells the whole story at this point. Christoph's the killer. It has to be. Hey, at the very least, he's the mastermind. The question, though, isn't if Christoph is the killer or not, because I feel like at this point, it's pretty obvious that they've pointed at Christoph being the killer. The problem is why? Why would he do that why would he do all this to Zach? What's the point of all this? To get at some random magician? That's the question that I need answered, I feel. Wait a minute. Where am I supposed to go now? Hang on. I just realized that. Send from the real quiet. Admittedly, once again, I do not want to get stuck. Oh, now we can go back here. Really? Wait, where do you... Okay, what? Apparently I can answer this now. Turn off story mode. I want to figure it out. I just needed a guide at this for a second. Slacking? I'm flying by the seat of my pants in this one. I also should have saved the game. Oh well. Story modes are super helpful. I do think it's a good idea to have that, because again, there are certain times where I'm just like, I don't want to waste time for like too long. Like obviously I want to try and solve things by myself, but at the same time I also understand that I don't want to waste like 30 minutes trying to figure out one thing. And especially when it might be super obvious. So it's just like, I usually just try and use it as like a nudge. And like, where am I supposed to go usually is where I want to, is what I like using it for. And that's what I'm going to find. To ask someone to take a life, even one not for long for this world. That's asking someone to commit murder. Proof of this danger. And flashy so often means danger. What is dangerous? What? That's one of ours. Specifically designed for your show, I gather. A single bullet. One shot.
What are you suggesting? We are magicians, Mr. Wright, not murderers.
I'm not crying murder, Mr. Villant. I'm crying something far more tragic. An accident.
Zack and Villant's quick draw shoot 'em.
How long has it been since those shots were last heard? Was the shoot 'em canceled because someone might get hurt?
Of course. What other reason could there be?
Well, it could have been canceled because someone had already been hurt.
Fascinating, my bastion forging friend. But tell me, what can you prove with a single pistol?
Well, tell me what would have happened if there had been an accident. What if one of your bullets took a life on stage?
The performance of magic is not concerned with what ifs. It is concerned with precision. Precisely whom do you claim we shot?
Looks like I've chosen the right path. Let's just hope he walks it with me. A life was sacrificed so that the show might go on. And this shows who it was.
But that's...
Zack Ramri's wife. And Trucy's mother. Thalassa, I believe was her name.
What? How can you say that? How can you say she was struck by one of our bullets?
Still in denial mode, huh? Thalassa was at the greatest risk of being shot. And this clearly shows just how much danger she was in. How can you say she was struck by one of them bullets? Do you think... Wait, are you proposing...
Mr. Wright, you're stupid. Eat this.
But just the name isn't enough. I need to recreate that day in his mind. Starting with where she stood. Oh, where? Troupe Grammary's performances were very, very popular. So popular, they even made a commemorative stamp at the height of your fame.
We were not merely the latest craze. We were an age. A golden age.
It's all here on the stamp. There's Thalassa, yes? Trucy's mother is missing, I hear. What happened to her?
I don't know!
Part of his memory is still locked up.
There's one thing you're failing to address.
What's that?
As you say, our troop was a world unto itself. If our leader, Magnify, was so inclined, he could hide anything he wished with ease. But Mr. Right, then he would have had a crime, making him an accomplice. Not a great foundation for blackmail.
The last got a point. If one of the troop members died in an accident and Magnify covered it up, his innocence would come into question.
Found the right address, Mr. Right?
I'm so close. There has to be something about how Thalassa's death could affect Zack and Valant's relationship with Magnify.
I see in your eyes. You still have something to say. How can you possibly prove more than you already have?
I'll prove why Thalassa's accident tied your hands so completely.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's going to take a little knowledge of the players to crack this one. The accidental death of Zack's wife tied both your hands, and this information proves why Magnify held so much power over you. It wouldn't happen to be... Oh.
Were you by any chance trying to threaten me?
No, of course not.
You'll never make a good blackmail artist.
Not a career choice I've been considering, actually.
Give up your dreams. Work an honest job. That's my advice.
Who was Thalas? Just to clarify, I figured. The accidental death of Zack's wife tied both your hands, and the information proves why Magnify held so much power over you. Apollo! No. Prove why Thalas's accident tied your hands so completely. It's gonna take a little knowledge of the players to crack this one. The accidental death of Zack's wife tied both your hands. Wait, is it because... Ay, ay, ay. Oh! It wasn't a question of who shot Thalassa. Thalassa herself was the problem.
What do you mean?
She was Zack Gramry's wife, Trucy's mother, and Magnify Gramry's only daughter. There was a terrible accident, and the two of you killed your mentor's only daughter. If that wasn't the key to Magnify's power over you, I don't know what was.
It was an accident!
A very painful accident.
There's no proof. None at all.
But the last went missing, and your mentor blackmailed both his disciples. It doesn't take a genius to put one and one together.
Ours was a complex family.
You mean Troop Gramry?
The master, Magnify Gramry, his only daughter, and his two disciples.
It does sound like a recipe for disaster, doesn't it?
Do not be tempted into faulty flights of fancy. Yes, it was an accident. That is all it was. An accident. Zack and Valance tour de force. The guns blaze, the bullets fly straight toward that beautiful body on stage. And then crash, zing, pow, into everything but her. Now that is magic. It happened one day when we were practicing. Same trick with a new twist. And tragedy. But as for whose bullet stole the last life, we shall never know the answer. The last disappeared from our lives, and Zack was bereft of a wife. Trucy lost her mother, and Magnify his daughter. And that led to blackmail, I take it. It's all part and parcel of the darkness that comes when the curtain falls. Why did Magnify Gramarye try to cover up the accident? It was his own daughter who died. All I can say is it was a critical time for Troop Gramarye. A passing of the torch from Magnify to Zack and Volant. We all sacrificed so that it might be a success. The last death. That was the greatest sacrifice of all, yet even when her life was extinguished, her presence was not. What do you mean? In time, we, myself and Zack, found we could no longer oppose Magnify's wishes. Magnify forced us to perform his art for his benefit. I see. I guess I can understand. I mean, he did lose his only daughter. Do you not find cowardice in his actions? Huh? To decide to hide the truth of your own daughter's death is one thing. And to hang that death as a guillotine over our heads. Things were dark behind the scenes of Troop Gramarye, that's for sure. Does the Trucy know? She was not told, naturally. Who would want to know that their father might have taken their mother's life? True. I had not thought of that accident for a very long time. I'm sorry to dredge up old memories. This has helped a lot. Not to find Magnify's slayer, I should think. True. Ah. After that accident, there was one who came sniffing quite persistently. A reporter? He called himself a newsman at the time. Often I spied him lurking about the dressing room doing his research. Would you happen to remember his name? What was his name? Sorry, I've forgotten. But in the course of his interviewing, he became quite close to my partner, Zack. I liked him not. I see. His name, I do not recall, but his scent, the cloying aroma of mint. Yes, whenever he smiled, which was far too often. I see. Thanks for your help. Does no good to interfere with the past, Mr. Wright. You will not uncover answers, only wounds. I'm sorry. I had begun to notice a dark curtain hanging over Troop Gramarye, and I began to realize what I had to do. I had to protect Trucy from that darkness. The reporter he mentioned, the newsman. I never learned who that was at the time, though I've gotten a pretty good idea who it is now. That smile and that sickly sweet smell of mint. The last floss-thin thread connecting Zack Gramarye to this world. Sooner or later, I'd have to track him down. That's all of the past dealt with. It's only into the present from now on. Drew Studio and the Sunshine Coliseum. Alright, let's start with Drew Studio, I guess. Present day, Drew Studio. Well, what do we have here?
Remember me?
Of course I remember you. Journalist meets ex-attorney in bar, end quote.
Can I ask you what you're doing here? Mr. Michon was poisoned and his daughter's...
Oh, yes, I know. Oh, I know, yes. It's caused me no end of grief, to be honest. Journalist wishes he'd track down case just a little quicker, end quote.
Were you on the trail of this case the whole time?
Zack Gramarye was a good friend.
Zack said something to that effect back to the Borscht Bowl Club.
What a character, what a man. If a little, no, a lot, no, extremely rough around the edges.
Do you think I could ask you a few questions?
Oh, you serious? I mean, I'm usually the interviewer, not the interviewee. Journalists ask questions, not the other way around, end quote. Fine, shoot, I don't care. People have been asking me all sorts of things lately.
I want to examine the room, though. I want to see what Phoenix has to say about it. Those 3 paintings.
All Drew's works, of course. Which is to say Vera's works, really. Or to be more precise, Vera's forgeries of someone else's works. Of course, if you demand utter and total precision... Actually, there's nothing more.
I was about to say.
This is where Mr. Masham fell. Never thought our 7-year reunion would be quite like this.
Wait, you knew Mr. Misham?
I met him once, in court. It was a brief meeting, but one I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Now that's a story right there, that is. I smell scoop. Ex-attorney now down on his luck, yes, plays Sonata of Sorrow. End quote. I'm all ears. What's at it? Don't hold anything back.
Could you at least get rid of the down on his luck part? I can deal with all the other statements, just for the love of God, please. The door outside. Vera might come walking in at any moment. If she wasn't in intensive care. Will she ever come through that door again, I wonder? So it seems like this is definitely taking place, after her, fall. Alright, Brushel. Family of forgers.
I need to take a drink of water.
It was tragic what happened to Drew Misham and his daughter.
Forgery is a serious crime and they paid the price. You know what really did them in, though, don't you?
Yes, a forged diary page.
The night I interviewed him, I found out something about Mr. Misham I hadn't known.
What's that?
You know, he always felt like he was being watched. Every day for 7 days, walls have ears, potatoes have eyes. End quote.
Being watched? You mean he felt guilty?
No, I'm not talking about feelings here. You know, I felt watched too. The whole time I've been on this case, no less. Journalist gets tingling sensation on back of neck, freaks out. End quote.
Because you felt guilty?
Why would I feel guilty?
You felt like you were being watched, huh? I wonder what it all means. Drew Misham felt like he was being watched. And you along with him. You sure it wasn't just nerves?
Nerves? No, it's nothing so mundane. I stopped paying attention to my nerves a long time ago. But I felt it too! Journalist sure is being watched! End quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Granary got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me? He completely vanishes from that courtroom. Then, for 7 years, he talks to no one, not a soul. Then, just as the remaining time was almost up, he contacts me in order to have this made.
And then he dies.
Starting to put the pieces together, are we?
And you were being watched this whole time?
Maybe not just me. Maybe you were too.
Me?
I met Zach through that case, actually.
You mean the shooting of Magnifique Gramry?
No, before that. It's not widely known.
You mean the accident during the quick draw shoot 'em practice?
My, you're well informed. You should have seen me back then. I dug up quite the scoop. I wanted it all. Money, fame, women, a little puppy. All for me. I was younger then, and my days of night smelled of fresher mint than they do now.
Lon Gramry did mention one particularly nosy reporter.
In fact, I was on close speaking terms with Magnifique Gramry at the time. I knew his daughter too, of course. Thalas, was it?
Really?
Then Thalas disappeared. Quite suddenly at that. And Magnifique wouldn't say a word about it. Yeah, my evil habit got the better of me. Journalist catches scent of scoop, goes on feeding frenzy. End quote. I set up a one-on-one interview with Thalas' husband, you see.
Zach Gramry.
Something strange was in the air over at Troop Gramry in those days. The whole screwy mentor-controlling disciples scene started by then, I'm guessing. Alas, she was part of it all, right? Come on, you tell me, off the record.
Sorry, I don't know.
Anyway, I kept prying and eventually became friends with Zach. Sure, he punched me once or twice, or 5 times. But over time, he came to see me as his confidant.
Spooky stuff, yeah?
He's been waiting this whole time. 7 years, huh?
Reading.
For his big comeback, of course. Big revival of the Magnifique Miracle. Of course it was all a dream.
Because of this. Performance rights.
In the absence of any official documents, he was golden. Who's to say the old man didn't give his rights to both Zack and Valant?
So Valant waited until Zack died, legally at least.
The time finally comes, and Valant's like a kid on Christmas morning.
He's getting ready for his show at the Sunshine Coliseum, you know?
If that document sees the legal light of day, it's gonna put a bit of a damper on that big show. He's a sorry one, that Valant Gramry. Lost out to his partner at work, and love too. Well, it's the same old story, really. 2 disciples and their mentor's only daughter. One has 3 sides and all of them pointy. A love triangle.
Huh. That is pretty classic.
When you're in a performing troupe, that's your world. It's like family. One with an entire high school's worth of drama, intrigue, and backstabbing.
And in the middle of all of this, the lass has Trucy. And then she dies. I need to find out more about this lass. You wouldn't have to have anything regarding this? Mr. Brushel, could you take a look at this?
Ah, I hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear. So, you want me to write an article on that, right? What's the angle?
Actually, no, that's okay. I don't need an article. I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on this.
I hear you. I hear you. You want me to sniff around for a scoop? Well, you've come to the right nose, my friend. It's odorless.
Thanks. Okay, that was less than informative. Mr. Brushel, do you know this person?
Do I know that person? Of course. I was friends with Zack, after all. He hit me a few times. 5 times, actually. But still, I'd never forget his wife.
The last Gramry. Magnifique Gramry's only daughter. Do you think you could tell me more about her?
Well, why the heck not? So, the last married Zack and had Trucy, see? It was her second marriage, actually.
You mean she was divorced? I hadn't heard of this one before.
Not quite. Her late husband was a former too. Apparently, he died during some gig. Tragic, really. They had only been married 1 year.
I don't know.
Ah, but she was a beauty. I still carry a portrait photo of her around, you know. Oh! Wait! Show me that photo again. I've known Trucy since she was a little thing too. She got the better deal, really. She's got you for family, after all.
What do you mean?
Just reminiscing, you know. The last has another child besides Trucy. End quote.
You're kidding.
But Trucy said she was an only child. Ah, yes, this one she had her with her previous husband.
Previous husband? First husband who died during a performance.
Yep, they had themselves a kid. Another orphan now. That's another one who slipped through the cracks. No idea where they are now.
Last had another child. Do you think I could borrow that photo?
Sure, I can be generous on occasion, you know?
I won't need this locket anymore. Better return it to Trucy before I forget.
People and events all get tangled together and get bigger and bigger.
Huh. Well, well, well. Isn't that interesting? Quite the curious bracelets. And that puts an intriguing look for Apollo and Trucy's relationship. You know, now that I think about it, it actually kind of makes sense in terms of how it feels. It does kind of feel like a sibling squabble between them most of the time.
Don't you think?
I was too busy wondering about Bigger to listen to what you were saying.
Sometimes you just gotta accept that you won't be able to untangle it all, I think.
Maybe so, but still. I have to do what I can. And I have to tell what I find to those who come next.
Next, you say?
I'm not the one who will close the curtain on this slow play. Apparently, that's not my role anymore.
Magnify. I was just wondering what Magnify would think of all this.
What do you mean?
Haven't you seen Intrusi? She's got his power. Wait, is that why?
You mean how I can't light a Trucy?
It was the same with Magnify. And with his daughter, Thalassa.
It's a strange thing. You think it's some Gramry gene?
Magnify told me once back when Zack married Thalassa. He said Zack had good eyes. Not good like a Gramry's eyes. Not that good.
I wonder if Zack ever played a game of poker with his wife. Who knows what the Gramry secret was? I think I know what it is now.
Maybe nobody now that Zack's gone.
Zack Gramry. The plot has finally begun to reveal itself. It sprouted from a warp in the Gramry fabric and grew, swallowing everything, wrapping itself around the Gramry's power. Power which passed from Magnify Gramry to Thalas for the next generation. And I would once again need to meet the one who bridged it all together. I feel like this is the game's way of saying, hey, go back to the Borscht Club now. Alright. Alright, buddy. Buddy-o pal, friend of mine. It's time to reveal the Gramry secret. Trusty does. I think I know what you don't want to talk about her. Hey, hang on, what? Three of you were a team once. Not that the entire country doesn't already know this. At your peak, you were the biggest stars around. Yet, there's another story behind the fame. One that not many know. Thalas lost her life during rehearsal. To you and Volant Gramry's bullets. It was an accident. It wasn't me. How could I shoot my dear Thalas? I'm sure Volant would say the same thing. Why, it's just like another murder I might mention. Damn you! Eyes. I loved Thalas's eyes. To think they could read my mind. It was frightening. There was a warmth in them that felt like an embrace. She's dead and Magnify Gramry has joined her. So the only one with her power left now is Trucy? Mr. Zack? I do not know. I don't need any power to see through that one, buddy. So there's someone else. Someone other than Trucy. Someone who inherited Thalas's power. How would I know? My chances are slim. It would take a miracle to learn the truth. Or maybe, one has already occurred. There's someone else with the power, and I know who. No, I hit the wrong button! I hit the wrong button! Pause! I hit the wrong button. I meant to hit A, not B. Or click. Left click, not right click. Whoops. Please hold, we are getting back to the regularly scheduled assignment. Blah blah blah. Okay. So the other person who can see it is Apollo. This boy? His name is
I forgot. Something weird.
Who would he be?
An attorney.
Attorney?
I noticed him when I went to visit a friend's law offices.
So, what do we make of this, oh great ex-attorney? You can show me pictures of strange boys all you like, but you could at least say something like, I'm this boy, I could use a laugh.
Perhaps you wouldn't laugh if you knew the facts. This might not be 100% proof, but it's close. There's a link between this boy and Thalas. Actually, it's more of a ring.
A ring?
Perhaps this will refresh your memory. I just so happen to have evidence showing this missing link. Actually, I know something. Your marriage to Thalas was her second.
How did you know this?
Her first husband. He died a year after they were wed, yes?
He was a performer. They met when... and he joined us Grammarys as a guest in our show. After Thalas wed him, she left the troupe for a while. And you say she had a child then?
I have a photograph of her. I couldn't help but notice that she was what she was wearing when I first saw this. Those bracelets stand out.
You're a Grammary family heirloom.
This boy wears a bracelet just like the ones in the picture.
What? So, that's why.
Why what, Mr. Zack?
I took this photograph of Thalas before she left us. When she returned, she wore only one bracelet.
I bet I know where that other one went.
She gave it to this boy. Her son.
Well, the Grammary secret.
This strange power. I myself do not know where it comes from. Yet the fact is that it passed down the Grammary line that runs in their veins.
What is it?
I asked her, alas, at once. This is what she told me. Her power responds to tension in others.
Tension?
If she were to face a person and they became tense, even slightly, and she would know, no matter how hard they try to hide it from her.
So she could see it.
Not quite. This is the strangest part of it all. She wouldn't realize that she was subconsciously detecting this tension without the use of a particular object, or in her case, objects.
Objects? Wait, were they something she wore?
Yes, her bracelets.
I admit, the first time I saw one of those, I felt there was more to it than just fashion. What kind of power could a bracelet have? Phoenix, you don't get to say that when you have the Magatama.
I've made a decision. I will tell you all I know. Consider it a gift.
Well, I hardly need you to tell me this. Tell me at this point, but those two,
a brother and sister, yes. And the brother, too, has this power of theirs.
So Trucy has an older brother. I wonder what will come of that. Hey, Phoenix, why haven't you said a thing?
That's right. Tonight, after our game is done, I will return to a life of hiding. I will not see her live her life without knowing.
I understand. I'll tell the two of them when the time is right.
I am in your debt, once again.
No kidding. What I want to know is how this got to be so messed up.
Those bracelets are made of a special alloy. It is said to expand and shrink, and very slightly in response to body warmth.
So they're temperature sensitive or something?
Yes. This is how they can shrink to the exact size of their wearer's wrist.
And this has something to do with the power?
What have I told you? The Grammary power reacts to tension in others. When the Grammary senses tension, they too become tense. And this tension translates into minute contractions of the muscles. So minute, they cannot sense it on their own.
Muscles? Oh, so that's what the bracelets are for.
With a bracelet on, one can sense these contractions, because the bracelet is always a perfect fit.
So when the person they're watching gets tense, the bracelet feels tighter on their wrist.
Precisely.
But that alone doesn't really count as mind reading.
I believe I understand how the process works from there. It's a simple question of eyesight.
Eyesight? I guess that sounds simple enough. Have you ever heard of kinetic vision? Something about the ability to see moving objects with full clarity, right? I've heard of it before. They say athletes can see a moving ball like it was stopped if they focus. Oh, but it's not confined to sports alone. It all relies on the ability to focus. When we focus, we can see many things. The faintest twitch of the face, and the meaning that lies behind it. Therein lies one of the secrets of magic. One must know the mind of a crowd before one may distract it. And that's why Phoenix knew at the beginning of the game that Apollo could do it, because this takes place before the first case. That's why he knew. Oh, that's why. I was wondering, why did Phoenix know that Apollo could do all that? Makes sense now. So basically what you're saying is, the Gramarys can see really well. For them, seeing is more than believing, it is knowing. Their power relies on eyesight combined with exceptional focus. Things are starting to come into focus for me too. Of course, it is difficult to maintain such levels of focus for any length of time. But what if someone could tell you when to focus? Or something. Precisely. Wait, Shruti doesn't have any bracelets. You are talking about poker, yes? The timing of when to focus is so elementary she probably does it without thinking. The way it clicks here is so good. Yeah, it's very satisfying. I doubt Shruti herself has realized this. That is all I know of things Gramry. Thank you, Mr. Zack. If this boy's bracelet is a real thing, then he will use it before long, thereby awakening his power. I'll keep that in mind. Well, shall we play a game?
I've said so much. Let me say one more thing. I will tell you of that night.
At night?
The night my mentor, Magnifi Gramry, passed from this world to the next. There were 2 pistols and 2 letters sent. This was Magnifi's test.
A test?
In his last years, Magnifi worked us to the bone. No, to the pain. That night, I could not shoot him. So I shot the clown's forehead instead. This, it seems, was the correct answer. Take this, and I give my art to you, Zack.
What?
It is thanks for playing along with my show. You shot well tonight, Zack. Though I would not have minded dying by your hand.
How could I shoot you? You're my mentor.
Ugh, I thought you might say that. If I went home without shooting anything, what would you have done then? And of course, I would have given Volant his chance. And if I'd shot you in the forehead instead, then it would be over. If you or Volant were to shoot me in the head, then I to the darkness would go, and my art with me. A fitting end, don't you think? Yet this ending too gives me no cause for regret. I thank you, Zack. And I'm sorry. I've done much that was wrong in my day.
It seems to me that Magnifi wanted you to be his successor all along. That's why the time he gave you was earlier than Volant's.
Perhaps. It's not something we'll ever know for sure now. I wonder, what's Volant up to these days?
Waiting for you to die. If 7 years pass like this, the performance rights go to him.
And now here I am, and his dream is ended.
It's worse than that, actually. Public opinion's a fickle thing, you know.
What? You don't mean to tell me they put the blame for Amenta's death on him?
The trial ended when you vanished, Mr. Zack. There were even rumors that Volant had helped you pull it off.
But that's madness! Well, it seems that before I can once again disappear from this world, I have one more act to perform. Isn't it odd that sorting out my life could prove so complicated? Even though I'm dead?
That night, Zack Gramry was killed. He died as Shady Smith, a mysterious traveler with a secret past. He left one thing behind before he parted. This. his confession. To use as I saw fit. To whom it may concern, 7 years past, I, Zach Gramry, murdered my mentor, Magnifique Gramry. I apologize for the trouble caused by my sudden departure from court, and hereby confess to my crime. Zach Gramry. Of course, he'd kill no one. This was his way of tying up loose ends with his old partner, Valant Gramry. We're getting close. We're starting to zone in on the truth.
Well, this is a blast from the distant past.
Long time no see, Mr. Valant.
7 years has it been? Frankly, I didn't think I'd ever see you again.
Actually, I came because there's something I want to ask you.
I've spoken to the press. I have nothing more to say.
I've spoken to a lot of people myself and come to some conclusions. But then I realized I needed to hear it from you. I just want to know at this point if you killed him or not. But I think I already know the answer. That sure is a big sign.
Yes, it's a favorite of mine. Impressive, isn't it? I considered using it for one wall of my house when the show's over.
Wow, your house is that big?
Actually, as fate would have it, I currently live in a one-room apartment. But following the wild success of my show, I intend to build a luxurious mansion. I was torn over just how big to make it, until that sign whispered the answer to me.
That's really beautiful. It's also a sign. The Sunshine Coliseum, was it? I'm not sure it actually qualifies as a Coliseum, but it's a great forum.
Yes, it is a favorite of mine. I've always been fond of sunshine. Speaking of which, have you heard what happened here recently?
Oh yeah, something going on during some concert?
Exactamundo. I see no reason to hide the fact that I, too, was involved in that case.
Well, that's something. Did you help solve it?
What do you take me for? No, I merely serve to deepen the mystery. I like making things complicated. Yippee!
That's obstruction of justice.
I'm a magician. It's my sworn duty to create mystery whenever possible.
Sir, a man died. I don't think I've ever seen a hot air balloon so close.
It's a favorite of mine. I've often thought of how to use it in one of my shows. Perhaps for the climax of Valant's quick draw shoot-'em returns.
Nice ad-lib. Nice ad-lib. It's just funny to me. This is like he purposely makes the trial harder because it's what he does. Sir, a man died.
I stand on stage, I shoot, and a hot air balloon is pierced. It explodes. What do you think? Thrilling, yes?
A little, I guess. But no one inside the Coliseum would be able to see it.
Bravo. It took me 4 days of planning to realize that.
Bruh. The creature. A man in the costume is handing out balloons to the kids. It's nice to know kids still like balloons somehow.
A favorite of mine. Balloon sellers, that is. I would have them join me on the big stage. They could hand out balloons to the children in the audience.
Wouldn't all those balloons get in the way of seeing your show?
Bravo. The possibility had not even occurred to me.
Phoenix Wright, entertainment consultant. Well, at least I got a new job. Alright. Magnifi.
I've walked a difficult road these past 7 years.
Because you couldn't perform Magnifi's repertoire?
Do not be deceived. Valant's skill is the real deal. I do not require my mentor's hand-me-downs. No, it was my partner who showed me on my way.
Zach Gramry.
His rather well-performed disappearing act 7 years ago was the end. Or so I thought.
Zach Gramery murdered our mentor and fled to escape punishment for his crime. You said something to that effect 7 years ago, didn't you?
I remember as if it were only yesterday. Yet, that was not the way of it, in the end. For while he had vanished, the suspicions upon my own person never did. His partner Zack vanished to protect him. That's what those thieving magpies of a press said.
I had no idea.
Yet that very same press comes to me now, feigning interest. They cover the greatest magic show in history as if it were a vaudeville distraction. And here I must stand, smiling at them all. What am I if not a play and some fiendish farce?
Might I suggest it's because you never made it clear what happened? Manaphy's death is still a mystery to this day. Which is why I came here to get the answer from you. It's time. I knew I'd be seeing these sooner or later.
The audience has no business stepping up on the stage. They must be content to sit and stare at the spotlight.
That sounds an awful lot like something I've heard 7 years ago. Fairly well. We'll do it the hard way then, Volant. Magnify's death.
Ask what you will, you'll get nothing from me.
I'm as much a part of this affair as you are now. I have to know what happened.
For 7 long years I've endured. Now, finally, the curtain lifts on my new golden age. All the miracles of our troop within my grasp.
Sorry to do this, Volant. But right now, I need answers. I think I'll start by dropping a bomb that should shake things up. Volant, I wouldn't be so sure about those miracles. Not as long as I have this.
And what might that be? I see it bears the Gramery seal.
I should have brought this to your attention sooner. But I didn't imagine you'd be planning your comeback quite so fast.
What is this?
A document showing the true recipient of the performance rights to Magnify's miracles.
What? Zach Gramery. He wrote this. What? He passed everything to his daughter.
Trucy Enigmar? Actually, she's officially my daughter these days.
Preposterous! Zach is gone! Vanished into the void!
This is the genuine article. Zach was alive when he wrote this. Both myself and the notary can testify to this.
Why does fate toy with me so? Why must my life be lived in thrall to the dead?
You're not the only one with that problem.
But he shot Magnify! Yes, it was Zach! It was! And then he left, and my career as a magician fell into darkness.
Did you think there might be some way out of it? Say, if you could prove Zach Gramery shot Magnify, was that why you testified?
Yes! My way out! It should have been my way out!
Well, it might not be too late, Mr. Volant. All you need is a way to prove your case. Who really killed Magnify Gramery? I believe I have the answer to your prayers right here. Zach Gramery wrote one more thing before passing on.
But this is a confession!
In which he admits to the killing of Magnify Gramery. See? All according to your plan.
I am a magician by trade. Deception is my life's work. I fool the audience, give them a fleeting dream. Yet, it seems the tables have been turned. Now I am the audience, believing in the deceptions I have wrought upon myself.
Zach wrote this right in front of me. After I explained your situation to him. Let's hear it.
You do know that this confession is nothing but lies. Yes, it's my opinion that Zach Gramery killed no one. And you must be thinking the truth is a simple matter of elimination. Two received instructions to kill, but if one is innocent, then the one who remains is guilty.
That would be the logical conclusion, yes.
So he managed to protect me. His partner. A stirring tale. Tis true.
Did you shoot Magnifique Gramery in the forehead?
If I had, and I told you, what would you do? Run to the police, perchance? Do as you will. There's nothing left for me now. It is true. After all, I have little talent. I needed my mentor Magnifique's repertoire. It was as if a little demon had grabbed a hold of me.
I knew it. So Valant Gramery did kill the great Magnifique.
So sorry, Mr. Wright. But it was not I who shot my mentor.
What? But if it wasn't you, then who was it? There wasn't another disciple, was there?
Another disciple, such as?
I don't know. Knack the intelligent Gramery, maybe?
Your wild fancies couldn't be further from the truth. Only Zack and Valant received those threatening letters. But there was another. One more person who could have fired that pistol that night. I don't suppose you figured it out by now.
It wasn't Zack Valant who shot Magnifique. And it had to be the only other person at the scene, which means... Wait, you don't mean...
Yes. The great Magnifique Gramery shot himself.
What? So Magnifique Gramery committed suicide?
You find it hard to believe.
To be honest, I hadn't even imagined it as a possibility.
When I arrived that night, the old man was still alive. He appeared to be asleep. I could not shoot him. When I turned and made to leave the room, the old man called out to me.
So you spoke with Magnifique Gramery?
Yes, and this is why I knew what he had done. Magnifique transferred the rights to his repertoire to my partner, Zack Gramery, not me.
I see. Then I guess I owe you an apology. I always thought you were the one who did it.
You owe me no apology.
Huh?
My crime was, in a way, more serious than that of murder.
What? Your crime? Is Valant Gramery confessing something to me? What could be more serious than murder?
You see, I knew that 2 letters had been sent. There are no secrets between partners. It was easy to find out. That was when I understood Magnifique's plan.
He wanted to die by one of your hands?
Little did I expect it had anything to do with the rights to his repertoire. That's when I heard it. The little demon whispering inside my heart.
The demon?
Let me confess. I intended to shoot Magnifique. And I planned on framing my partner for the crime.
What?
That night, I prepared something before going to Magnifique's hospital room.
Which was?
IV fluid, of course. I'd seen it on an earlier visit. If Zack did not shoot, I would do the deed. Then, I would use the IV liquid to place the murder on his hands. That was my plan.
But you didn't shoot him?
I could not. The demon in my heart fled when the moment came. But then Magnifique called me back. I am sorry, Valant. I'm giving my magic to Zack, not you. You still lack the draw he has. Please, help him if you can. I left the room, and then I stopped.
The shock of what I had just been told had consumed me.
That is when I heard that fateful gunshot.
Magnifique Gramery killing himself.
Then the demon awoke anew within me. Zack killed him. He was the one. Frame him, and the magic will be yours. I altered the scene of the suicide. I took the pistol from his hand, wiped off the prints. Then I used the syringe to add the IV liquid I'd brought.
So in the end, things happened pretty much as planned. Manaphy died and you framed Zack for his murder.
As planned, indeed. Of course, the outcome was somewhat different than I had anticipated. Well, what do you think? Do you believe my story? Can it be believed, truly?
That was 7 years ago. I don't know what to believe, but
Yes?
I'm glad I heard it from you, Mr. Vallant. Thank you.
It is I who should be thanking you, Mr. Wright. Only when I had lost everything could I make my decision.
You're going to turn yourself in?
My partner may have vanished, but not so my guilt. And as my guilt stays, all else begins to leave me. My friends, my performance rights, my magic. I've had enough of vanishing acts.
I understand.
I thought my life was ruled by a dead man. I find I was wrong. For Zack Gramry was alive.
Well, not anymore.
And now, it occurs to me. What if he was not the only one who survived?
What do you mean?
You see, now that I think about it, I realize that No. We never saw proof of her demise. We never saw her body.
Her?
The mind races and the mouth flaps on. My apologies. Forget this matter. I can only hope that the day will come when I again meet my partner, Zack Gramry. Then, I shall apologize for my terrible mistake. I'm glad we had this chance to talk. Thank you.
Zack Gramry, Shady Smith, whichever name you prefer. He is no longer with us. The truth revealed in that trial was only a sliver, and the impenetrable darkness that remained has taken another life. I knew what I'd have to do to push back the darkness for good, and it would involve paying that man a visit. One more place remains. Let's go meet with the devil.
Sorry, sir. Prisoner Christoph Gavin is currently occupied.
I see. Do you know when he'll be finished?
Well...
Could you go find out?
Certainly, sir. Please wait here a moment.
My apologies to the guard. There's something I need to see. I think I know. A little, there it is. The yellow envelope. And the sender is... Drew Masham. I was right.
When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Masham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. It was a yellow envelope. I heard it was left at a crime scene.
If this is the last letter that Drew Masham wrote, then there's something I need to do. The last thing I need to do, in fact. Here goes. Let's see if this atropine spray finds anything. It'd be on one spot. Bingo. So this was Drew Masham's messenger of death. It was this stamp, all right. No mistaking it. And his last letter was sent to Christoph Gavin. The interview request came, like you said it would, and they're looking into the case. I swear on my life I won't tell them about you, so please release the spell you've put on my daughter. I'll write later with a report. God. Finally. Decisive evidence.
What's this?
A burglar? In jail? Gavin. I didn't know you moonlighted in larceny, right? Gavin, there's something I have to ask you. Can I steal your stuff? The answer's no. My apologies, but there's not much I care to discuss. Vera Masham hasn't received her verdict yet. You follow me, Gavin? There are no known survivors of atrocanine poisoning. But it never hurts to hope. Okay. I'll be leaving now then. Right. Wait. Yeah, Gavin. Would you mind leaving that letter? It's private. Oh, sorry. Forgot I had it. Many thanks. Oh my gosh! Wait! We've now seen all the clues in this case. Clues I gathered over 7 long years. Now it's time. Every story has an ending. We've come to the final chapter. The final trial. Find the truth. You're the only ones who can. His freaking badge on his hat. This might be a bit painful to me, but I'm super curious to try and end it today, so I'm gonna regret this later. I already know it. But that's too bad for me. Welcome to the court. 7 years, all leading to one verdict. A verdict which you must decide. Is the defendant Vera Masham innocent or guilty? The courtroom doors are opening. The trial awaits. Are you ready to begin? Preparations complete. Something inside me. Rising. Surfacing. It all leads back to one man. Something important. Lost long ago. It's close now, so close. October 9th, 10 a.m. District Court, Quorum number 3. And it's given me all the evidence now. Interesting.
Court is now in session for the trial of Vera Misham.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution's ready to rock.
Prosecutor Gavin, how's the defendant, Vera Misham's condition?
Acute atrocanine poisoning, according to her physician. She could die at any time. Thus, her absence from the courtroom today.
What? They can't put her on trial without her being here.
It is unusual.
They should wait for her to get better and do it then.
It's so...
It's so bureaucratic of them.
That's being a little harsh. They can't delay the trial any longer, or they risk having no one left to try. A trial without a verdict can only cause grief. The records of this case and experience tell us this. Apologies to the defendant, but the show must go on. Right. If Vera dies, the trial will be cancelled. I wonder if I save. Will it actually say this is the final... No, it just says trial day 2. I'm not going to let that happen. Miss Wright told me everything that's been going on behind the curtain all these years. I'm going to get Vera her innocent verdict while there's still time.
Very well. You'll be safe, Prosecutor Gavin.
The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events. Why did Vera Misham succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she'd done. Objection! Boy, if you don't get your ass out of here... But Vera was poisoned with atrocanine. The exact same poison that took her father's life. What better confession could you ask for? Being the killer, she would have had access to the poison. Significant, since it's rather hard to come by.
That is true.
In other words, I see no need for further discussion. We could have had our verdict yesterday.
Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no objections, I see no reason to postpone a verdict.
What we need to worry about isn't the verdict, but the trial itself. The defense holds that Vera Misham is the victim, not the killer. If that's so, then you have to prove something. She was in court, giving her testimony before us. How do you propose her killer poisoned her? It makes sense now. Oh, and incidentally, it would be nice if you told us who her mystery killer was. I get it now. Everything makes sense. I get it. I get it. I know how she was poisoned.
The prosecution's objection is sustained. I ask the defense to prove its claims to this court. Tell us how Vera Michon was poisoned.
I've got 2 things to prove here. Who did it and how? Which to hit first? How did the killer poison Vera Michon? I will focus first on the method used.
Any comments before we begin, Prosecutor Gavin?
Not a bottle or container of poison was found on the defendant's body.
I see. So the vector of poisoning is unknown. Is the defense prepared to prove how the poison reached Vera Michon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. What method was used to poison Vera Michon?
It's one lucky charm.
What's this? My, what a beautiful bottle. I'd like to give whoever designed that a hand.
Is that nail polish? It's colorless. Something the matter? No, nothing. Nothing at all.
So the killer put poison in this bottle and made her drink it?
As Prosecutor Gavin has told us, this is nail polish. It just so happens that I've noticed that Vera has a lot of poses where she's biting her nails. I do that a lot too. Though, maybe you shouldn't be biting your nails as often as you think you should.
Nail polish?
It's like paint for nails. Know any women with red nails?
Ah, my wife has red nails. I see. So she's been painting them all this time.
Let's recall yesterday's trial. Remember when Vera was testifying to the court?
Court is now back in session.
Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails to clean off. Whenever Vera became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails.
Her nails?
Ah! Prosecutor Gavin, when the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails?
Bailiff, have them check the defendant's nails at once. Mr. Justice?
Yes?
Do you know who did this? Do you know who put the poison in that nail polish?
Yes. That bottle belongs to Vera Michon. Why do you ask? Know someone else who might have a bottle like this? No. Just checking. No, I'm sorry, Gavin, but even I can see that's a clear lie.
Mr. Justice, you are about to accuse someone of poisoning that bottle of nail polish. Please dispense with the chatter. You realize the weight of this accusation has? Here, let me show you. It's 2 hit points. You should probably save just to be safe.
Understood, Your Honor. No problem. I know what I'm doing this time.
Then let us ask, who poisoned Vera Michon via her nail polish?
Nice of the game to just instantly give me the very first option.
What's this? Christoph Gavin?
Objection!
What's your game? Oh. There's no way he could do a thing like that. You should know that better than anyone else.
Indeed. He is behind bars.
I know. However, that doesn't mean it wasn't possible to do what he did. What? Ask yourselves when he put the poison in the bottle. It could have been yesterday. It could have been a month ago. Maybe it was a year? Perhaps it was 7 years ago.
But Christoph Gavin had no motive for killing this poor girl. It's simply inconceivable.
Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so. Aha! This is why I like you, Clavier. You don't really shy away from the truth even when you know it's bad for you. You acknowledge that it's bad for you and get stressed by it, but you don't try and get away from it if you can't fight back. That face tells me one thing. Christoph Gavin's own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all.
Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there's a clear and pressing need, then we may have to summon Christoph Gavin from jail as a special witness.
Fine. I've known for some time that an impenetrable darkness lurked at the bottom of this. A darkness that has swallowed even myself. Okay. The defense's wish is granted. Let prisoner Christoph Gavin take the stand.
Bailiff, begin proceedings to call a special witness. The witness is Christoph Gavin, currently residing in solitary cell 13 at Central Prison.
Here he is. Ah, Your Honor. How nice to see you again.
It's been quite a while, hasn't it?
To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? It's not every day I'm summoned from my solitary cell. In fact, it's never. I think you already know, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Ah, Mr. Justice. I hear you've been doing quite well for yourself. Why do I feel like somehow he's still my boss?
Stiff upper lip, Apollo. You can do it.
Does this bottle look familiar? Area Donny nail polish. Why, yes, I use it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear. She's not dead yet. And was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about? I admit, I respect her for her taste in nail polish. Her taste indeed. This nail polish was how the Misham was poisoned. Atroquinine, was it?
You're well informed about the case, Mr. Gavin.
Even in solitary, much comes to my desk, and I have nothing to do but read. Well, Clavier? Maybe you can explain this. You're being accused again. By him. Again. Ah, and? You agree with his accusation, do you?
Let's hold a proper trial, shall we? Christoph Gavin, your testimony, please.
I'd be delighted.
The charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You are suspected of the poisoning of the defendant, Vera Misham. Please testify on this matter to the court.
Poisoning Vera. Owning the same nail polish does not add a murder make. I have been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution's case holds. She poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father, too.
Well, I'm afraid the defense's claim is sounding rather unlikely.
Naturally. For one, I don't even know the Mishams. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice?
Very well, Mr. Justice, begin your cross-examination.
I'm accusing Christoph Gavin, my ex-boss. I know he poisoned the Mishams. The question is, when could he have done it? Not to mention, why? Poisoning Vera. Oh! Really? Okay. Interesting. We've already got something fascinating here. Excuse you, game? What? The final cross-examination? We just started! What? What do you mean the final cross-examination? We just started the case! What? He's so smug about it. Yeah? I imagine it's going to be pretty interesting for whatever... What kind of nervous twitch would you have? The only thing I can think of is maybe your glasses. Or maybe a tap of the finger. Owning the same nail polish... does not a murder make. I don't know what... I don't know, actually. Does that line... Do any of these lines give me cause for concern? I have been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Well, maybe this. I'm in solitary confinement. Do save files flat spoil? They tell you how many I think it's probably been that way for the it might have been that way for the previous trilogy too, but it just tells you if it's the final cross-examination. I only noticed that during like the second case. I started noticing like it actually does tell you that.
I mean, that doesn't mean that I don't know if that means the case is short or not, but it does mean it's probably the final cross-examination, which, I mean, I'm not opposed to. I feel like that's, honestly, I'm not too upset about that because I feel like it's kind of obvious at this point what happened. It's just a matter of actually proving it. I'm just surprised that it's happening so quickly. Maybe that's because of how the third case kind of extended itself. Explains it, yeah. Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. Yeah, let's just go through all of them. Maybe there's something obvious on his face or hand. I assume it's gonna be some, like... I assume it'd be like maybe a tap of the finger, maybe a twitch of the eye for him. Prosecuting case holds. Come on, show me a crazy twitch eye. Or eye twitch, I should say. Or show me tapping fingers. Whoa. Hold on. I saw that. I saw something weird, but... Also, your eyes are very close. Where if Paul just gets close to witness. Saw that at a glance. There's something on his hand, isn't there? There's a scar. Huh. That's not in any of his other portraits. That feels important. Oh! Oh, I see why! Huh. Well... Well. I... Gotcha! Can't say I've heard of a twitch like that, but... True feelings come out, huh? It was you who killed Drew Misham. A bluff worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright. Oh, really? But you see, I saw it. Right when you said her father too. Your hand tensed unnaturally, and a little devil appeared to give me the news. The devil, huh? So that's what she saw, probably. Just a quick glance, and yet a devil can appear. And... let's assume for the sake of the argument that you saw me being tense. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? And tell me, was Drew Misham fond of nail polish too? Sorry, but there's more than one way to poison a man. You don't need nail polish to get to someone's mouth. Ah. Then I must be very talented indeed. You see, Drew Misham was killed on October 6th. While I was already in my solitary confinement cell at Central Prison. If that's not an alibi, then I don't know what it is. But you found a way all the same. And I found it too. This is how you poison Mr. Misham. Take that! Yeah, I thought that was it. And here I thought you'd come so far. I admire how you, lacking any confidence whatsoever, chose to battle on. Your defense lacks even a shred of elegance. Much like Phoenix Wright, come to think of it.
Relax, Justice. I've come this far and must know the answer. How did the killer get to his victim when a killer was in jail? Oh, wait. Mr. Bisham. I'm sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. Ah. The night Mr. Misham died, he was seen writing a letter. Atrocanine was found on this stamp, Mr. Gavin. So am I to understand this stamp was the murder weapon? Yes, you are. Oh, and yes, this stamp was found in your prison cell. Bingo. That is all, Your Honor.
Order, order, order! Poison on the back of the stamp!
After Drew Mersham was killed, someone paid a visit to his witness cell. Phoenix Wright.
Hey?
That's when he found the stamp. You made Drew Mersham write you a letter. That's how you killed him! My. You've upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need to do is recall witness Spark Brushell's testimony. Well, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in that envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something.
His desk drawer?
Yes, the stamp! A so-called postage stamp. End quote. He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp. What are you getting at? What I'm arriving at is that this commemorative stamp was in a frame. It was mere coincidence that he used it that night.
That would seem to be the case.
Or perhaps you mean to suggest that I can somehow manipulate coincidence.
He does have a point. How would the witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder.
What? Really, Clavier? You should be seeing through these weak-spined bluffs by now. He's right, though. How could anyone have known Mr. Misham would use the stamp that night? Least of all, Christoph Gavin locked away in his cell.
Well, it seems that the defense has run out of things to say.
You assume he had something to say in the first place. I believe the defense's bluff has been called the defense's bluff. I'm not sure I agree with you there, Christoph. Clavier? Oh! Honestly, I wanted to believe you. But the defense wasn't trying to get away with the bluff. You were, Christoph.
What are you saying? Prosecutor Gavin?
Forehead. What was your accusation again? Huh? Oh, it was that this poison stamp killed Drew Misham, ja? Which my brother responded thusly. There was no way to know when Misham would use the stamp.
Yes, that's right, which is why it couldn't have been planned.
Tell me, it needs to be planned. Why? Why couldn't it have been a coincidence? The defense's case is simply that Drew Misham died by that stamp. That's all. Coincidence? Christoph, you tried to slip out from under his accusation by changing the subject. If that's not bluffing, what is? What are you up to, Clavier? I could ask you the same question, Christoph. I silenced the defense with the fewest words possible. It's called efficiency.
But Mr. Gavin, that's impermissible testimony.
Very well. I shall take his claim head on, then. Justice.
What?
You accuse me of Drew Misham's murder, yes? Then, allow me to ask you, what possible reason could I have to kill a painter?
Apollo, motive! He's talking about motive!
Indeed. It's hard to see how an attorney could come to want to kill a painter.
Here's something. Why didn't he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid it was a battle he might lose.
So, what does it mean?
It means there might be a weak spot. Maybe I have some evidence to prove a motive.
Motive for murder. This is a vital, if not the most vital element in this case. Please consider this when making your statement.
I'd say he's about this vital. That's pretty vital.
Mr. Justice? I'm going through it with this no matter what.
I don't know when to save, and I'm just going to save every, 5 lines.
Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence. Then let's see what you have for us. This has got to be the line. This has got to be the part where I actually save the game. What reason did Christoph Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Misham?
It would have to be this.
Christoph Gavin's motive becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came to Drew Misham's studio in the first place. And why is that?
Forgery, Your Honor. Go back 7 years. Drew Misham accepts his first job creating forged evidence.
I've seen that before. Page from a diary, wasn't it? Magnifique Grammy's diary.
Ah, when attorney Phoenix Wright lost his badge, yes.
This was the evidence he presented.
His loss. This evidence is a fake, yes. But did Mr. Wright request the forgery be made? That was never proven. Objection! The defense attorney on that case was Phoenix Wright. Who, other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it? And why would they? Just out of curiosity. Do you remember this letter? This is the first page. And this is the second.
Those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Misham by the client who requested that forgery.
The enclosed stamp was none other than the poisoned commemorative stamp. Drew Misham drew his last breath just the other day. However, the motive for his murder was already 7 years old. 7 years old? The client who requested this forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase anything and anyone with connections to the forgery to keep them from talking. But he made a mistake.
Stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much.
The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poison stamp was sealed within a glass frame, where it sat for 7 whole years. F. Boyd, do you understand what you're telling us? The one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp. And it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence 7 years ago. Adding the two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Misham was none other than Phoenix Wright. Objection! Sorry, but that's not how this is going to go down. Oh? Then how will it go down? I checked through the records on that case when I found this. 7 years ago, just before the trial began.
Oh, old boy. Here.
What's this?
I don't know. I just got over there in the hall. He told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair.
And one more thing.
I'm sorry to have sprung this onto you so suddenly.
I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. Oh my gosh!
I understand I am asking the impossible of you.
Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards.
And that was enough?
Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery. Day before. Now here's a question. Just who was Shady Enigmar's previous defense attorney? I wonder. No! This cannot be! But it is all true. There was another man, a defense attorney with a badge on his collar. It was you, Christoph Gavin!
Order! 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 What is the meaning of this, witness? I mean, defendant, former lawyer?
Let me begin by denying this.
Objection!
No. It's easy enough to look up, Mr. Gavin. And impossible to prove if you can't. Attorneys are registered with the court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in the court. How exactly did you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claims?
That would be difficult. I'm afraid this line of inquiry won't yield.
Objection!
Forehead. I got a text message. Alright, we can continue. Are you sure you don't have evidence?
What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks clammy.
Evidence! Evidence that shows this man, Christoph Gavin, requested that forgery 7 years ago. Javier? Just prove it! Clear up these doubts now, or I swear I'm off this case!
He must have thought of some evidence, Apollo.
Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain. That darkness. I have to pull that darkness out of him. And proof is the only way I can. What proves Christoph Gavin's link to Drew Misham?
Well, Mr. Justice, you claim Christoph Gavin requested a forgery of Drew Misham, 7 years ago. Prove it.
It can be proven. Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? This evidence does not.
Objection!
Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice? I am. Then I say we give him the benefit of the doubt.
Very well. But if you're wrong about this, be prepared for a penalty. I'm pretty sure you've had double damage penalty this entire court session, I'm pretty sure.
Objection!
Your Honor, you did a defense in injustice. Mr. Justice is clearly passionate about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion? You're an asshole!
I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. Well, Mr. Justice?
Fine, Your Honor. All I have to do is prove any kind of link. You're an asshole! Something that ties Christoph Gavin to Drew Misham. And I have something that clearly does the job.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Present your evidence. Show us the link between our witness and Drew Misham.
A name I've never heard of. At least I think so. Too blurry to read. I don't like this. I'm gonna be honest with you. Just... Okay, I figured that was it, but I had to be sure. I was too scared to fail. Call me a coward all you want. I don't want to die. This evidence proves there's a link.
Objection!
That scrap of paper? I'm afraid I can't let you submit that. Is there some problem? There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't.
Hey, that's Daddy's handwriting.
Mr. Wright's handwriting. What is the meaning of this?
Ah, I see now. Yes, of course.
What do you mean, of course?
I just remembered I had a visitor yesterday. Phoenix Wright came to my cell, except I wasn't there. Phoenix Wright? When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail.
Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell?
No. However, it appears Mr. Wright has yet to be cured of his bad forging habit.
Well, if it's a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting's terrible.
This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the real letter.
Reproduction?
When Mr. Wright visited Christoph Gavin's cell, he brought with him a small video camera. There it is. He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin. And the contents of your personal mail.
Regardless, this mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video a man with no authority whatsoever claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspected of forgery.
Prosecutor Gavin? Prosecutor Gavin?
As embarrassing as this is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother's incapable of making rational judgments at the moment. Your Honor, your decision, please.
The defense's claim is denied.
What?
Only actual evidence is permitted in a court of law. Please remove the defense's evidence from the record.
Better luck next time, Justice.
Well, we've certainly taken a detour from our cross-examination, but the defense appears to be lacking proof. I'm forced to end the cross-examination of Christoph Gavin at this point.
Apollo, do something.
I'm thinking, but without evidence, I don't have anything I can use on him.
Very well. This ends the special witness's cross-examination.
Objection!
Huh? The show's over, yet the crowd screams for more. Only now do I understand why.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years, and I'm tired of the whole youthful angst scene. Now's our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, eh, Christoph? Clavier, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you'll regret. Spinning out of whose control? Mine? Or yours? Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor, your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Clavier.
Apollo, did you see that? He's trying to press Prosecutor Gavin.
Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember. What's really important to you? You amuse me, forehead. I couldn't forget what's really important to me, even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago? Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you? Right.
Resist what? Presenting solid evidence?
Might I request we put the cross-examination on hold? The prosecution would like to call a new witness. State your name and occupation for the record. I'm familiar with the trial. I've watched the video several times. Didn't you find anything unnatural about it?
Unnatural? Well, you did seem unusually well prepared. I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence.
Don't.
In the next moment, you call in Drew Misham. It was almost as if...
Almost as if... what? What? Funny. It didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if, from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence. You're admitting to being an accomplice. Correct. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Phoenix Wright would eventually come up with that forged diary page.
Don't do this, Clavier.
I knew because you told me, Christoph. Oh! Ah! It was the night before the trial. Clavier? Christoph? Odd seeing you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial. Ah, I won't be appearing in the trial, actually. Huh? Why not? I won't be facing off with you on your first trial, apparently. But in exchange, I brought information. Information? The attorney who will be there in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Linus, listen. I want you to call in a special witness. Then... I wondered about it at the time. How did Christoph know so much? Prosecutor Gavin. Christoph, we were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserved that much. You let me borrow the victim's belongings.
You showed me all your research on the case,
The victim's belongings?
which would have included Magnifique's diary, wouldn't it?
Mr. Gavin?
My, Clavier. You disappoint me. You find trees, yet miss the forest. You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin. You can't sweep this under the rug. Not anymore. Tell me what was going on behind that trial. Why not? I've achieved what I came here to do. I see no harm in a little reminiscing.
Apollo,
I think we're finally going to shine a light on the black belly of this thing, Trucy. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough. 7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited the detention center at the request of my client, Zach Gramry. 2 cards.
2 cards. 1 card.
Showdown time. Enough. You lose, Gavin.
Thanks for the work. Now go.
To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were to this day. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost in a game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion.
Daddy used to say something. If you want to know a man, you have to compete.
Zach wasn't watching his points or the cards. He was watching the man behind the cards, Christoph Gavin. He saw the monster. I couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright, a second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs. He dismissed me and went with that pitiful excuse for a man. He deserved to die for that error alone. Hold it! So the one who requested that forgery was... Oh, I'm not admitting to anything. My point is, these 2 men shamed me, and I could not forgive that. Phoenix Wright and Zach Gramry both deserved what they got. So you asked Mr. Masham to forge that evidence, so you could win. Then, when you were dismissed as Zach Gramry's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap. You fed me information about the forgery you made. Then you gave your dirty evidence to him. You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I had imagined came to pass. Everything went perfectly. Incredible! If I wasn't laughing, I'd weep.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Perfectly? You're mad, Christoph. Stop fooling yourself. What are you talking about, Clavier? Tell me, how'd that trial end?
Cancelled when the defendant vanished.
Ah, I get it. So, Christoph, you've been living in fear for 7 years.
What?
You were afraid your forgery would be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things a chance. So you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years. He always felt like he was being watched. That's what he said, every day for 7 years. But I felt too. Journalist sure is being watched. And well, don't you wonder why Zach Gramry got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me?
Wait just a minute. Zach Gramry was seen by this reporter? How's that possible? Was he alive after being gone 7 years?
Finally. I knew this moment was coming. I just didn't think we'd be here so fast. Zach Gramry, gone missing for 7 years. Trucy's father.
What's wrong, Apollo? You gotta go get him.
Right. Leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveler.
I remember him quite well. Shady Smith, was it? Poison in a Chinese restaurant. Tragic.
The details don't really matter right now. What matters is that traveler was Zach Gramry.
What is it, Apollo?
Huh?
Keep going. We'll talk about it later.
Did she already know?
Someone please explain this. Mr. Justice, can you explain this?
It all started 7 years ago. The great magician, Magnifi Gramry's death started it. Magnifi Gramry's death and his student, Zach Gramry, the suspect. Whoever defended Zach in court successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking that, Christopher Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence. Drew Misham? Actually, it was his daughter, Farah, who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin? Precautions? To keep people from talking, of course. These two know too much. Leave them alive and there'll be nothing but trouble. That's when you planned your poisoning of the forgers. Atraconin. Applied to a commemorative stamp. But luck was on Mr. Misham's side. Bomb didn't go off.
His daughter. She saved him by taking the stamp. I see.
But that wasn't the only bomb he set up. The Ariadone nail polish, of course. You noticed something when we requested that forgery. Whenever Misham is nervous, she has a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails.
Ah,
that nail polish was her good luck charm.
She was almost kidnapped once. Since then, she's been, well, you can see for her yourself. She refuses to leave that house.
That person gave me a good luck charm for when I absolutely had to go outside. Protects me.
Yes, apparently she received something, a gift. She won't tell me what it is. It was from that client, the one who wanted that note made.
It was his insurance.
insurance?
As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. What if she had to go outside? If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous. And the nail polish would do the rest. His time bomb sat there for 7 years. And then, they went off almost simultaneously. If you're finished, may I return to my cell now? I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time. Boy, if you don't... Mr. Gavin, have you heard a single thing we've said? Oh, I listened quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction. What? Clavier, surely you understand. We're back to the evidence, the lacking evidence. Nothing proves a link between him and the Atraconine that drew Misham's breath.
Objection!
What about the restaurant? You killed Zach Gramry to keep him from talking. I killed no man of that name. Read over the report again if you'd like. The victim was a traveler by the name of Shady Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was that particular fugitive.
Objection!
Okay, then why did you kill him? I plead my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Misham, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial's been finished for 6 months now.
I'm afraid we have strayed considerably from our purpose here. This court concurs with the witness. It is the defendant Vera Misham who is on trial here.
No! You're doing so well, Apollo!
As long as there is no evidence to support the accusation against him, this court of inquiry cannot find Vera Misham innocent.
Objection!
Your Honor, Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence.
Objection!
You still don't get it, do you? Let us assume there was poison in the nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vera Misham to bite her nails? What? It wasn't me, I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you. But... Ah! Evidence is everything. There's nothing more.
I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion.
Your Honor!
Mr. Justice, you have performed admirably well for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well.
However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Clavier? Unfortunately, yes, Kristoff, you're right. That is, you would have been right until now.
What?
Did the news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is the trial case for a new judicial system. Oh! That's right! I totally forgotten. The jurist system! Jurist, you say?
The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. This new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into the law.
Common citizens? Wisdom? Is this some kind of joke? What could we possibly gain by doing this? Entrusting our judicial system to a mindless, emotional mob of irrational mouth breathers?
Common citizens have something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law.
Nonsense! There's only room for two in this court. Me and the law. Keep the riffraff out, I say! They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything. Hey, don't look at me! Why are y'all staring at me? They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything by video camera. Hi. How can you allow this? Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen was Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright? It's over. So, everything was leading to this. Of course. Right. 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 Right! Yes! I won't accept. I can't accept. This is no court. Law. The law is everything. Law is absolute. You let ignorant swine soil your courts. Kristoff, it's over. Clavier! The law is absolute. You can't be serious. What? Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes. The law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions.
The law is the end product of many years of history, the fruit of human knowledge. Like a gem polished to a gleam through trials and errors. It is this fruit we receive and pass on and face in our time. And it is always changing, growing, nurturing. It is our task as human beings. Except for you, Kristoff. You aren't changing. You've stopped. You're not needed anymore. I couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday, I'll know what law is. And I'll fight to change it if I have to. I see no need to further prolong this trial. This began as the trial of Vera Misham, accused of murdering her father. The painter, Drew Misham, however. Several incidents were revealed, and we seem to have reached a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision. Jurist of the court, for the death of Drew Misham, how do you find the defendant, Vera Misham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now to consider this matter.
October 9th, 12:48 p.m., Jurist Chambers. This ends the trial for this case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Misham is currently in intensive care. If a decision cannot be reached today, it may never be reached. Factors involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father that night? If so, she is guilty. Or was there another reason for Mr. Micham's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she is innocent. A panel has been provided for each of you to input your decisions. That is all. Please, wait. Yes, jurist number 6? There's something in the jurist handbook here. Persons involved with the case may not be jurists. That is correct. I've looked into all of your dossiers. None of you are involved with the development of the case. With the development of the case, I see. Does that answer your concern? It's time for your verdicts. Make your decision in the case against Vera Misham. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely. Judge well. You can get a bad end. Oh! What? I think it's not guilty. I guess you can just go ahead and say it. I assume it's pretty obvious that it's probably not guilty for the good ending. I'm going to assume. I hope I can save here, actually. No, I can't. Still, that's interesting. It's a freaking, it's Lemoire. Alright, she's not guilty. What? Oh. Confirm. Oh? Huh? And so a verdict was reached on October 9th, 2:14 p.m. First verdict under the jurist system. Innocent by unanimous decision. The record will show that when the verdict was announced, special witness Christophe Gavin laughed. A laugh louder than ever heard before or since. A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. October 10th, 8:30 a.m., the morning after the trial. In an intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Misham opened her eyes. Yes! October 10th and 10:12 a.m., Hickfield Clinic.
Yeah.
Vera! I'm so glad
Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too. I'm proud. You did well, Apollo. But I thought about... what if Vera...
Hey now, don't you start crying now, too! Sorry you had to see us like this. Aww! Vera?
Thank you so much. Apollo, thank you.
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you never would have bitten your nails.
No, I was wrong. Staying locked inside like that, clinging to my good luck charm.
Vera.
When I opened my eyes and saw you, I finally understood. It's important to be a part of the world. To see things with your own eyes.
It looks like that poison had some effect after all. It killed off whatever was holding Vera back from life.
I knew you'd pull through, Vera. I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for the whole time. Your future. I won't forget it. Here, let me thank you.
No, really, it's okay. No!
Oh, look, it's me. I love it. Thanks.
No. Yeah! Is that me?
She really captured your essence, Apollo. Well, I think so, at least. That reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is?
The other lawyer?
Oh, you mean Daddy, except he's not a lawyer anymore. It's my fault, isn't it? I'm sorry. Oh, no, that's not what he meant. No, it's okay. I'm through looking away from the things I've done. I hope I can look him in the eyes again someday and apologize.
I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that.
He brought all those things for me when he came to visit earlier.
Aw, you mean that stack of videos? Mr. Wright finished watching them all?
You know, I knew my real daddy was alive.
Huh?
I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom.
You did what? How?
I'm not telling. He promised me that day he went away.
We may not meet again for some time, Trucy. But know this.
I will be watching. And one day I shall return. You're the next Gramry, after all. Aw. Oh, Trucy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he?
It's okay. Phoenix is my daddy now, even if he can't really play the piano.
That he can't.
Oh, and I've got you too, even if your voice is kind of loud sometimes.
Glad I made your list.
Hey, come to think of it, where's Daddy? The one who can't play. Do you know Apollo?
I think he said he had to meet someone.
I wonder. Maybe it's the new mommy. Oh, Trucy. Yes, Vera? I was wondering, could you show him to me once more? Sir Hat, was it?
Aw.
Oh, he's not been knighted. Yet. Here goes. Do us an impersonation, Mr. Hat.
Objection!
Not loud enough. And I like the Miss Magic underwear better anyway.
That's magic panties, Apollo.
I object to you. Hey! So, your memories return. Mr. Wright, was this all part of your plan too? Who's this talking? Oh, wait!
Was this all part of your plan too?
I don't know what you're talking about.
When I lost my memory, I was reborn as Lemoire. But you knew my true identity, did you not? That is why you chose me as one of your jurists.
Ah, you're thinking into it too much. Besides, there was no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy.
Of course it is a happy thing. For so long I thought I was alone. But now I know I have children. Two...
Huh? Wait. What? Did she lose her eyes? Or did she get blinded as a result? Or something?
I'm so proud of them. This too, I think, is thanks to you.
Are you gonna tell them?
They do not know.
Nope. They don't know their mother. They don't even know their siblings.
I will go to them when the time is right. Until then,
Don't worry. I'll take care of them for you. They're very important to me too. A little annoying at times, but still. I have to keep an eye on her at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels on the inside. Your bracelet.
Yes?
I've seen a lot of mysterious things these past 7 years. But your bracelets were the strangest of all. Oh gosh, front-facing Apollo! This is the... I think this is like the only time front-facing Apollo's happened. I don't know why that jump scared me. Why are you staring at me like that? I remember meeting him half a year ago now in Christoph Gavin's office. And then I met you. Two fates destined to intertwine. And I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that.
Such a small thing, that bullet. It tore who I was away. Years ago, during a simple rehearsal. It was a miracle no one died. But I didn't survive the accident. That is why I left the troupe. My family. Now my memory has returned. I am myself once more. For the first time, I'm glad to be alive, Mr. Wright.
Speaking of miracles, Vera Michonne regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she's as glad as you are.
It is a strange thing, Fate. Sometimes a life is taken. Sometimes a life is spared.
You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily, really. As long as they've got something worth living for. And that's pretty much the end of my story. For now, anyway. I've still got a long way to go, and this power of mine, well, it needs some work. But there's hope now. We'd lost it, but somehow we found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah, I think I'll keep at this lawyer thing for a while. Oops, training time. Gotta go. Cords of steel, here comes justice!
Objection!
I love that game. That was one of the very few Ace Attorney games that I knew the least about. Oh,
I'm glad you're staying in with the agency, Apollo. It's like I found my long-lost big little brother. Oh, and don't you worry about the Troop Grammary. Trucy's on the case. Now that I have this thing to say,
I now own the entire...
Trucy Grammary? Frankly, I've got my doubts, but Hack Grammary, and I'll back him in.
I honestly really did love that the cases in this game. I honestly liked all of them. I can see why people would have problems with them. But at the same time, I think they just make it very satisfying. It's not every day you get a trial that rocks harder than one of our gigs, yeah? That's why it's over. The Gavanese are breaking up. The news calls the run on tissues at supermarkets nationwide. Damn. You're the real stars now. I look forward to our next jam session. Aw. But I guess I should probably wait to say anything extra because I feel like I'm just gonna keep getting interrupted by people joining to speak something. Well, it's finally over. You know, thinking about it, I've been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. Now that everything's sorted and I've got time on my hands, maybe I'll take some lessons. Or maybe I'll take the bar exam. Again. And that's why you exist in Dual Destinies. Third case is least fair in the fan because you have to see that whole MV again and again. I can see why I think I like it better than the past people did then. I'll say it after this. Because I know I have to talk here.
so I was standing around eating snacks the other day when I got this crazy idea. What if they were golden? You could augment the crunch, or better yet, make them ding. Ah, the power of science. Although the preservatives might not be 100% safe.
Bruh. But yeah, the adding of the whole like being able to like switch scenes in that movie thing for the third case probably helps to make that case a lot more enjoyable, considering you don't have to watch the entire thing and you can just go back and forth.
In unlikely event you are wanting Russian feast, come to Borscht Boat Club. The only thing colder than restaurant is borscht. Ah, but if greater challenge is being required,
Hey,
then come to the hideout. You know who to ask for.
yeah, having the being able to not have to do the same thing for help for sure. Yeah. No, they easily could have just made it so that you had to watch the whole thing again and have to suffer the same pain. But no, they took the time to at least fix that, which I'm very thankful for. I could definitely see myself probably getting annoyed by the case if I had to deal with it. Hey, Plum. Oh!
So, Kentucky Pastries is getting back into its eastern roots. Spread the culture and all. Yo, boss, culture time.
This is how we write root, capiche?
But we're still about giving back to the people. Yo, boss, your time.
Look at my innocent eyes. And this is how we write people, alright?
Not that Walkie's paying any attention. Ugh, kids.
Just a little silly. But yeah, I just think all the cases were satisfying, and again, probably helped satisfying.
Zoid! Giant characters on King was like,
was a fine idea like 3,000 years ago, believe that. Man, you wanna make it today, you gotta keep it real, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that's why I made the OG cracker, for real. I know it don't look like no crackers. Did you what? You want me to call the OG muffin?
Kinda. It looks more like a muffin. It looks like a muffin pie somehow. How'd you make a muffin pie? But yeah, I will be doing, I mean, of course I'm going to be doing Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice. Haven't seen those in a long time.
I don't know where all this food come from. If you ask me, there's only one food, and that's noodles. Noodles forever. I got a new one, too. See, this time I just put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. I pretend Eldon's noodles is all about the soul. Soul forever.
As to when I'll do them, probably soon, ideally sooner rather than later, because, whoop. Hey, it's you again. Are you still stealing underwear? My exceptionally inquisitive nature has won me the unequivocal adoration in my department. You see, they used to call me Wesley Stinkler and Wesley Sticky Hands. But no longer. I have a new name, one that reflects my true academic nature. Wesley Sicko, reporting. Yes, curiosity is a sickness, and I am a cure. Ooh. Sorry, I just got a call, so I was just now trying to respond to them. If I could actually send a text, that is. There we go. Oh!
I don't know how to thank you for all you've done. Light has returned to my life, and with it joy. I may have lost years, but I have gained a treasure. Two treasures, in fact. I will think of them when I write my next song.
That's really cool. How I do wonder how exactly she lived, considering I thought they definitively said that they got shot.
Oh, hey. Brush here, back on the beat with another interview. How do I feel about how things turn out? No scoop yet, but journalist confidence in mint condition.
Please stop strangling yourself, sir. But, oh gosh, I can't talk.
I decided to keep painting. Originals only, of course. I suppose I'll have to see a bit of the world outside to find out what to paint. But I know there are good people out there now. I've met them. The door is open. The world is waiting. Thank you.
Aww. That's sweet. I love this. I do love how this credits is like, it's just a bunch of photos of everyone. I think that's cute. Aww. This is adorable. I love this. This is adorable. What a fantastic game. I love that. So is that the is that the end of the credits too? That's the end of the credits, and it just there's something very funny about just throwing you right back out into the game selection screen. Like, yep, you're done here. Get out. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it for today then. Next time, I might just go ahead and continue with Dual Destinies, but we'll figure it out. There's also the fact that Persona 3 Reload comes out soon, so I'll be recording that. I won't be streaming it. I will be recording it. That'll be on the YouTube. So, yeah, that'll be there. But next stream will most likely be Dual Destinies. I just don't know when. It might be tomorrow, might be next week. Don't know. But until then, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and hope to see you all later. Peace.